Blockbusters. You are listening to the Triple B Podcast. Let's fucking go.
Welcome back to another episode of the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon, Belts, and Blockbusters. I'm Tim.
I'm Ryan.
Yeah, he is.
Hey.
We're back with,
What that noise I just made was. Hey. What the fuck? Hey.
We are
Anyhoozle.
back to talk about some bourbon, some wrestling, and some blockbusters.
Dang right. What is going on?
You're going on.
Hyped. I'm hyped right now. I don't know. All right.
There's reason to be
There's
hyped.
reason.
There is reason.
Yes. That is what you guys will be able to check out on Wednesday's bonus episode.
Hell yeah. But in the meantime, we got episode 35 coming at you now. So, Ryan, this was your cash-in. You can find our cash-ins now on TikTok and Instagram Reels / Facebook.
Yep.
Give it a check out because this is a fun one as well.
It was a good one.
We keep them going, man.
Yeah, we're just
I'm having a
rocking.
lot of fun with
Me
these.
too. I love them.
They're turning out good. That Coyote cash-in was a really good. It was a good one, but this one's
enjoyed it.
just as fun. So, Ryan, take us through what you got for us.
Yeah, I've talked about him before on the show, but I follow on TikTok One Big Pikey. He is the main guy I follow that does a lot of drink reviews and stuff, and he does a lot of bourbon reviews, and he did this one. Well, he did. Let me reiterate. He did that. This is the Penelope Toasted. He did just the straight Penelope Toasted. This is the Penelope Toasted Connoisseur. And I got that, again, we talked earlier. I got it because of the char number is lower. Mm-hmm. And I just thought we've had the smokiness before that we were both kind of eh.
Yeah.
And I've had smokiness before where I've been yeah, I'm good with it. But I was no, we'll try a smaller one or a lower level one, I guess. But not a huge blurb on the back, but it does, kind of help understand we've done with the flavor profiles and stuff before. So Penelope Toasted series explores the depth and complexity different char and toast levels have on our flavor profile. After full maturation, we finish straight bourbon whiskey in new charred American oak barrels. It is 55% or 110 proof. This has been aged for 4 years. It is a level 2 char and a heavy toast. I got this at Total Wine up in South Hill, and the tag price was $80.99. So it's a good bottle.
Yeah.
Not sure what it was when my wife walked out of the store with it because I had a hell of a morning. Drove all the way from my place. I drove what amounts to about 40 minutes from my house down to South Hill, which is about 15-20 minutes from your house, but in completely opposite directions.
Yes.
From each other. And I got all the way down there, got onto the aisle. I knew what I was going for. I've had this planned for 2 weeks now, what I was going to get.
Damn.
So
look at you being prepared.
I was prepared and organized, and I left my house early so I could get down here. We could get everything set up and do everything, watch the Royal Rumble and everything. Get to the store, I grab the bottle, I go up to the cash register, and I literally set it on the conveyor belt, and I make eye contact with the cashier as I go to reach for my wallet in my man purse. And I realize I don't have my man purse on me.
Teaches you to be prepared.
Yeah, I don't have my crossbody, and I realize I left it hanging on my coat rack at home. So I didn't have my wallet, ID, nothing to pay with. I had my cell phone and my keys, and that was it. And I don't use the mobile pay stuff on my phone, but I didn't have my ID anyways.
Yeah.
So I was oh my fucking God. And I instantly hated myself. And I texted you and said, I fucked up. And I texted Lindsay and said, I fucked up. And luckily, my wife was driving to let our daughter nap. And she was heading down to her mom's, which is down in Edgewood
Yeah.
area. And she was only like 10 minutes away from where I was.
Thank goodness.
So I texted her, I was like, hey, this is what just happened. And she's like, I'm 5 minutes away from getting on the freeway. I will be there in about 10 minutes. And I'll just come buy it. And I was like, oh my God. So I don't know what the total price after tax and all that was. I apologize. But I'm not the one who actually purchased it today because my wife had to save me. So shout out to my wife. She's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Pikey did the review of it. He gave a lot of we watched it again earlier, and he talked about the oak and the honey on the nose, and how you get a lot of different flavor profiles with like some cinnamon and caramel and stone fruit, the dark cherry stuff on the tongue. So made us really excited to take a sip of this, and the scent of it is phenomenal. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
Let's dig in.
Let's do it.
Cheers, man. Damn.
Yeah, that's good.
That's real good.
Holy cow. I'm gonna let that sit for a sec. I like that.
It got everything, man. It's not.
This is what I was talking about. I don't remember which bottle it was. It was a couple. I don't think it was the last one because I didn't really have a flavor.
Yeah.
It might have been the one before. I can't remember, but I said something about like. No, I think it was. It might have been the last one. It might have been the one that your last cash in where we said that like. It like had a kind of a burn, but it wasn't really like a burn. And we had talked about how like sometimes like a burn like is an enjoyable burn. This has an enjoyable burn to it.
Yeah, it's like it has that like cherry note or whatever you're talking about. It's just kind of lingering there.
Yeah, and it's very like that's why I didn't take another sip because I just wanted this to rest. And I'm like, it's very sweet still in my mouth. I felt like it coated my whole mouth.
Probably the honey.
Could be the honey, yeah. But oh my gosh,
yeah!
The second it hit my tongue, I was like, "Whoa, that was like a strong, powerful flavor and just everything."
It's still linger. It still linger like on my lips at the back.
Really good. My mouth's watering like in a good way.
Yeah, like I want to sip more on it. Yeah.
Fuck, that's good.
I'm going to give it a 10.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 10. It's really, really good.
Like, is it up there with the other one? Yes, it is. It is definitely up there with the other ones. Oh, I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
When Lindsay walked out, one thing I didn't tell you, when Lindsay walked out and handed it to me, she goes, "Here you go, you bougie ass." And then she goes, "That better be fucking good." I wasn't anticipating telling my wife that I was about to spend $100 on a bottle of bourbon, but I didn't have a choice. So, but yeah, that was phenomenal.
So good.
Again.
All right, there you have it. That's I think my third 10 and your fourth 10.
Yeah, I think so.
Because you gave the tin cup a 10. We gave the makers, and then the Jefferson.
Oh yeah, the Jefferson Ocean.
Yeah,
that's right. All right, four 10s.
35 episodes, 4
10s.
Hell yeah, man!
Solid. All right, cool. You can find us on social media at TripBpod on Instagram, X, YouTube, and TikTok. We're on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon Podcasts, and our Gmail is triplebpod619@gmail.com. Hit us up, send us questions, ask us things. I guess that would be sending us questions. Didn't need to say that twice. Redundancy. But yeah, comments, anything. Just let's
bourbon
get social.
suggestions.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get social. Social. I can't unhear it now.
I know.
We are back with our rendition of the fact check. Ryan, it's your turn. How did we do last week?
We did pretty good. I only got 5 things.
Okay.
And it's funny because I'm like now that we've been doing the fact check, which is part of the reason why I like it. I find myself like so much more intently listening to the show.
Yeah.
You know, because like it's easy to like tune yourself out when you're talking. You know what I mean? But like now that we're the one, like we're fact checking ourselves, so it's like every 2 weeks I'm like very intently listening, and then on your weeks I'm listening to it, but I'm not as like I'm not like trying to nitpick things.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of nice because it's like 1 week on, 1 week off type of thing, and yeah, we did pretty good. Trying to think.
So let's not ruin it this week when I go fact check.
I know, right? Yeah. I don't know. Something about being at my house makes us be on point, and then when we're here, we're loosey goosey for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's because like the last few times we've been here, one of us has gotten clocked in the fucking dome.
Check out
our social media, and you'll understand with the cash. So, like I said, we got 5 things. First thing up, we were talking about football last week, and it was the fact check about rookie quarterbacks bringing their team to the conference championship. And I had just like said, I was like, because the week before I had mentioned like, did Andrew Luck? But he didn't as a rookie, and then I was like, well, I was like, okay, but he took them to the AFC Championship game, and I'm pretty sure he went to at least one. And so I just wanted to clarify. Little clarification here. Andrew Luck did take the Colts to the AFC Championship game one time in 2015 versus New England. That was New England's win to then go beat Seattle in the Super Bowl. So that was that year.
Why couldn't the Colts go that year?
Huh?
So why couldn't the Colts go that year? Maybe things would have been differently.
But yeah, so that was that one. Next thing up was just kind of a... another clarification, really, with Luchasaurus, also known as Kill Switch.
Yeah.
We talked. I like just jokingly threw out like who could. Was that what I think we were talking about? Who could Dom be?
Yeah, it's
like,
referring to
right. And I was like, is Luchasaurus still in AEW? And you're like, yeah, he's like seriously injured. Not necessarily injured.
Okay.
Illness.
Oh, gotcha.
Very serious illness. He was found unconscious by his fiance with double pneumonia.
Oh, shit.
And almost died. But it sounds like he is making a really solid recovery, and that they are like working towards a potential comeback.
Okay.
So, positive update there on Kill Switch. Who until I looked this up, did not know he switched his name to Kill Switch.
Well... Christian Cage changed it for him.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Anyways, next thing up, and you started to allude to this earlier.
You cut me off.
And I cut you off. I said, no, motherfucker. That is my fact check. Last week we had talked about tag titles being defended on a PLE because it felt like it had been forever. And... for the men's tag titles, it has been fucking forever. So we were correct on that. The women's, however, the women's tag titles, the last time... Let me rephrase. The last time a tag title was defended on a PLE before the Royal Rumble today was Crown Jewel, the women's tag titles. In like the 4-way women's match, where Bianca and Jade retained.
Was that in September? Or October? I think it was September.
Crown Jewel, I think, was September.
Yeah, because Bad Blood was October.
No, I did put it. It's Women's Tag Crown Jewel in November.
November.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crown Jewel's November.
Don't have to fact check that.
So,
I said don't have to fact check that now.
I had it already written down. I didn't realize I had that down. I skimmed over it when I was just reading this. To continue on with the women's tag titles, they have been defended 5 times on different PLEs since WrestleMania.
Wow.
The women's have. The men's tag titles were last defended in the unification of the title split in the 6-pack ladder match at WrestleMania.
Holy shit.
That was the last time that the men's tag titles were defended on PLE.
That's insane.
WrestleMania. So 8 months
almost
ago.
a year, yeah. Wow.
Which is fucking crazy to think about.
Yeah, no kidding.
The women's have been 5 times, and since WrestleMania now the men's has been once. And it's only one of the men's tag
it's not even both of them. Yeah.
There's only one set of women's tag titles.
Yeah. Dang.
And they've been defended 5 times. Primarily by Jade and Bianca and or I guess Naomi. But I don't know that Jade and Naomi have defended it on a PLE since Naomi took over.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think on a PLE.
No.
They've just done it on Raw and SmackDown a bunch. And
Yeah.
even
NXT, yeah.
But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. We were correct in thinking or feeling that it had been forever because it has been a fucking long time.
Yeah.
In terms of wrestling, it's been a while. Mickey 17 director. We talked about Mickey 17 last week. You put that on for the Blockbusters. And then I had brought up. Well, we had talked about how it was the director who did
the Parasite. Yeah.
But I couldn't remember the director's name. It's Bong Joon-ho.
Okay.
I think I had said something close to that.
It was very close.
Yeah, it was very close, but I don't know that I said it correctly, so I just wanted to make sure we got that out there. And then the last thing I had was actually this was a legitimate fact check on me. Because while we were doing our game last week, karaoke, yeet, I corrected you during Picture. By Sheryl Crow and Kid Rock.
Okay.
And you were actually correct.
Oh.
In your lyrics.
I found your picture.
I found your picture today, but that is the very last chorus that they sing. It's like the end of the song. So it's a change in the normal chorus, and I forgot about that.
Gotcha.
So, and then when I corrected you, I then said it incorrectly. I just switched 2 words. I said, sat down and cried today. Oh no, sorry. I said laid down and cried today. The actual words are sat down and cried today.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah.
Nice.
Just looked like an idiot all around there. So
I bought it.
That was that. That was it. And hey, that got it. I got us to both sing on one of the song answers. So.
Yeah, there we go.
But yeah, that was it. That's what I got for the fact check.
Perfect.
So yeah, dude.
That brings us to football. We had the championship rounds last week.
We sure did.
We had Kansas City.
All around disappointment. Not all around.
I mean,
I'm stoked for Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm jumping ahead.
We got the Chiefs defeating Buffalo in another showdown. It was a showdown, though.
Yeah, another like 15-on-11 showdown.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what your fucking views on stuff are. Josh Allen picked up that 4th down. It's not. It's objectively he crossed the line. There's no camera view. There's nothing that shows him not gain that, and they said he didn't gain it. It's fucking bullshit. And then the one-handed catch that hits the ground that they call a completion by the Chiefs. No fucking way.
Yeah.
No other receiver in the history of the NFL is making that catch, and they're calling it a complete catch. It's fucking crazy. And
Des Bryant is freaking out somewhere after watching that.
There were a handful of other issues. And it was just like, what the fuck, man?
I was really hoping for Josh Allen. I was. And just...
And it's me and my buddies, my coworkers, we were talking, and it's just like... It's so... There's a legitimate chance that Josh Allen will go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks to never make a Super Bowl, let alone win one, possibly.
Yeah.
And it's just like... if you watch interviews or you watch any of like the sports talk shows or you read articles and stuff... So much shit gets said about Josh Allen for not being able to beat Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow or whatever in the playoffs. And it's like, how much more do you want a single person to do in a fucking game?
Yeah.
Maybe as a coaching staff and a front office, you need to invest a little bit more in, I don't know, your defense to be able to stop the other offense.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Josh Allen, in losing efforts... he's putting up fucking ridiculous numbers.
Yeah.
He's putting the team on his back in every game that they play. It's fucking wild. So I was super disappointed in that and seeing Casey has this fucking opportunity to go 3-peat, which is just gross to me. So
yeah. And then on the other side of things, we got Philadelphia defeating Washington. This one started off really close. Yeah. And I was like, all right, this is the slugfest I thought it was going to be. And then
Saquon Barkley literally ran away with it. I mean, it was like his fucking first touch of the game. He went for like 60 and a touchdown. So that was wild. But that was still a back and forth. But they just fucking... They went off.
Him and Hurts together, how do you stop that?
I know.
The 15th man on the Kansas City Chiefs?
yeah.
That's
probably.
how
we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out
next Sunday.
Weekend, right? Yeah. There's. I can't remember who was talking about it, but somebody was talking about if you could put, you look at the running backs in the recent years that Philly has had and how well they've done.
Mm-hmm.
But you put an elite running back behind that offensive line, and this is the shit that happens.
Yeah.
So, like, with Kansas City's defense, because, yes, Kansas City's defense is good.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think he, like, just out the gate, do I think he's going to have a game like he has been having recently against this defense? Maybe not.
Mm-mm.
But do I think he's going to be a difference maker still? Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
because you have to plan for him.
Yeah.
No way around it.
Yeah. But yeah, so next Sunday we got our Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, yeah.
Kansas City versus Philadelphia in a rematch from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Kansas City looking for a 3-peat, looking to beat Philadelphia twice in 3 years to make history, and Philly looking to win their second Super Bowl in, I don't know, how long ago was that?
God, that was.
I'm gonna take the easy out here and just say their second Super Bowl in 10 years.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
I don't want to say a specific number like the last 5, and it was like no, it was 6 years ago. So in the last 10 years, because it was definitely within the last 10.
Yeah,
because Philly won it after Seattle.
Yeah,
and it has now been 11 years, right? Because we won it in 2014.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It's a 2013
yeah, 2013 season. Yep.
So.
Yep, 100%.
All right.
I got a couple more football things. Just Pete Carroll is back.
Yeah.
He's with the Raiders.
Yeah.
I know we don't have a lot of stock in them, but we do in Pete Carroll.
Hell yeah. I'm a fucking Raiders fan now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that team. I think that's definitely going to help that team and draw some free agents to that team as well.
Can I throw a little fun fact tidbit off of that?
Yeah.
That I read today. Apparently, and I just thought this was funny because they're now in the same division again. Mm-hmm. Pete Carroll and Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, that's true.
The Harbaugh Carroll.
I didn't even think about that.
Division rivals will yet again.
Yep.
Because they were division rival, or they were college rivals.
Yeah, Stanford and
USC. So.
Yeah.
So we got that back, but the thing that really sparked that for me again today was I read that the Chargers blocked the Raiders' attempt at interviewing one of their assistant coaches. Here it goes. It's starting now. I love it. No, I'm super excited. I was obviously like, it was the right move, but I was bummed to see Pete Carroll go, right?
Yeah.
It was the right move to move on from him.
Yeah.
Just given the last, 5 years, right?
Yeah.
This, what had been seeming like, and now there's a lot behind the scenes that we don't know of, and we might find this out in the next, we could find this out this offseason, that maybe a lot of it falls on John Schneider. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But we do know that Carroll was had a lot of power in making personnel decisions and all that, and this is now John Schneider's game to do that. So we'll see. But it was a bummer to see him go because I love Carroll and he was amazing for Seattle and just everything he brought to just all of it, everything. So I'm excited to see him get a chance to coach again in the league because he's going to be the oldest head coach in the history of the NFL when he turns 74 during this coming season. He is currently the oldest head coach in the NFL now, having been named the head coach of the Raiders. But dude, he's got the fucking energy of a fucking 35.
He's got more energy than me.
I know. So it's still like he's still just. I watched his introductory interview and stuff.
Yeah,
and it was just like I'm just like fuck yeah.
Yeah,
you know, like I'm excited for them, and I've kind of always liked the Raiders. And I do think it is kind of a poetic type thing, seeing as how Seattle and Oakland used to be division rivals.
That's true,
because Seattle was in the AFC West before the league expansion and then the breakup to the divisions that they are now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think the whole situation's cool. I'm excited to see what they do and excited to see how he builds his coaching staff and then how they build the roster around that because there's going to be a lot of fucking changes going on there.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you think Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew are going to be either of them are going to be the starting quarterback on the Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders in August.
Yeah.
You are poorly mistaken. Well, one of them might still be on the team, but if either of them, I will be fucking floored if either of them are the starting quarterback come week 1. So
I have to fact check you come next next season. So
yeah. Remember this. Put it in your notes now. Never delete it.
Put it there. No, I'm for sure excited. Just Pete Carroll just carries himself so well, and it was really sad to see him go. But sometimes it's just a change of scenery that needs to happen, you know, and you know all good things have to come to an end, and unfortunately it did. So, but I'm excited to see him with the Raiders and see what he can do there.
I got a hat signed by Pete Carroll.
Oh, nice!
It was the training camp of us going to win the Super Bowl. It was that year. It was that training camp. I got a hat signed by him, Jermaine Kearse, and Cam Chancellor.
Nice.
And I have since taken Pete Carroll's signature and I got it laser engraved on my taint.
That's a lie.
It is a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie. But I do love Pete Carroll. So, anyways, what were you about to say?
Speaking of new coaching staff, we got our offensive coordinator now in the form of Clint Kubiak. And I'm not very familiar with him, but I know he was on the Saints, and they started off really hot and
but then
looked like unstoppable.
They scored what was like a record 96 points in the first 2 games or something like that. It was fucking wild. But then their entire fucking offense almost got fucking injured. Yeah. So kind of a bummer there.
But the exciting thing is he's still really young, but he also has a NFL experience, which you were looking for.
Yes,
so
absolutely, and he has not had the numbers of his offenses have never necessarily popped off the page to you. They are, kind of middle of the pack offenses because he was also the OC in Minnesota for a stint, but. I think it's a lot more to do with the scheme and the Kubiak zone system that he runs, which stems from his dad, stems from the Shanahan tree and all of it. And I think the other thing too with this is he's the same age as our head coach. Yeah. Right. They're both like 36, 37, 38, somewhere
38,
in there.
I think it was.
Late 30s. So they're both young. They're right around. They're like within a year of each other age wise. And I think one of the cool things is yes, he has been an OC twice and hasn't kept the job. But both times that he ended up not continuing to be that was the aftermath of the head coach getting canned. Yeah, it wasn't him. It's not like he was fired. It wasn't like like we got rid of Grubb, right? But our head coach and GM and everybody stayed. Like it was more of like they cleaned house both places that he was at as an OC.
Yeah.
So I think that is something to keep in mind as well. He has the experience of calling plays. He has done a good job of doing so. And yeah, I'm
excited
I'm
for
gonna
it.
be very, very interested in what he can come up with JSN, and as long as what I think would be extremely stupid doesn't happen with DK Metcalf potentially getting traded, I'm hoping that doesn't happen because I think that would be a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But if DK and JSN are both on this team come fall and we got our running backs and we can make a couple moves in the offensive line, shit's going to start opening up downfield because Clint Kubiak is going to be using play action. Geno Smith, if he's the quarterback, Geno's going to be under center a lot more. Like, it's going to be a lot of changes of stuff that we didn't see this year. With then, I'm hoping they also watch some film from this year and see what Grubb did do well with the screen games and that ability and how that was flourishing a lot more and be able to just like take the best pieces and just build it. So
that was one of the things he said. He wants to improve the O-line. He wants to utilize our weapons, and we did utilize JSN, but DK kind of fell off the radar. He had a quietly good season, but it wasn't as good as he's had.
He went for like 800 something yards or something, like 4 or 5 touchdowns, I think. So it's not like off the charts, but again, you have to look at what was the reasoning JSN had the season he had. Because
DK was getting the attention.
Because DK is getting fucking triple covered on most plays. Like, he will pull every defender that's in his zone. Linebacker, corner, nickelback, safety. Like, you're talking legit sometimes 4 dudes paying attention to him, which means there are open pockets in the field, and that's where JSN is then finding spots. So, DK's numbers went down, but where his numbers went down, JSN skyrocketed. Right? So it's like, it's a give and take relationship.
And then hopefully Kenneth Walker gets back on track, and if it's anything like, I mean, Alvin Kamara was still doing great things this past season, so
and if we can get the offensive line figured out a little bit, right, and we get a little bit of experience there and some actual like quality in that area and continuity, if we can put even a little bit of that together, if we can improve the offensive line 6%, K9's gonna have a fucking year.
Agreed.
So,
all right, man. That brings us to our weight loss journey. Check-in number 13. What were some of your successes and challenges these past 2 weeks?
Yeah, man. Successes are just continuing with the kind of logging of the food and getting to the gym. Or one of the biggest successes was my wife doing, I don't remember, it might have been like 2 weeks ago now, or a week and a half ago or something. I don't remember. She had this whole like moment where she just like fucking put together a little home gym in our garage.
Nice.
Because we had a bunch of stuff like in like we have like these pantry cabinet things out in our garage. We have 4 of them, and one of them, it was all of our exercise stuff was in there. It was just like, it would get blocked. We never used it. Like literally none of the stuff had been touched since we moved into the house 3 years ago.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And it was just one of those things where it's like, you have it, and it goes away, and you forget about it. Out of sight, out of mind type of thing. Well, she like took it all out. I had this other shelf that's just an open shelf where we had like a bunch of car wash shit, which also doesn't get used very often. But and like other just random miscellaneous stuff. And she like swapped it all. So like, all the workout stuff is now out on the open shelf. We went to Home Depot and we got these like 4x6 rubber mats. You've seen them. And we put those down. I think we're going to get one more too. And so having that out there and just being available, like I've now used it twice in the last week.
Nice.
Lindsay would have used it more, but she got food poisoning on Tuesday, and she is like still feeling the effects of that. So she's just like super groggy, and is just like every now and then she is like, just not. She's just kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
Hoping this next week she'll be able to get back to it too. But after I was gonna get online with the guys last night after we got home and Lindsay went back to put Lainey down, and I was like, no, I'm going to the garage. I'm gonna do a quick 30-minute workout. And I just went out there, did a 30-minute workout, and it was fucking legit, dude. It was nice. So that's some of the successes. Challenges, I don't really know. I don't really feel like I had very many challenges in these last 2 weeks. I've been cruising pretty good. I've been feeling good.
Yeah.
I've been eating well. I've been doing like a detox kind of drink in the morning that I'm really enjoying. I squeeze half a lemon into a mason jar. I put ground ginger, turmeric, and cinnamon in it. I do a couple drops of iodine, some mineral salt, and then I pour in like a, like one of like the kind of paper cartons of coconut water.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, pour that in, stir it all together, and then I just down it in the morning.
Nice.
I've been enjoying that. Yeah, dude, it's been
going
for
good.
Successes.
All right.
What about you?
I would say that more successes than challenges. Going to the gym on a regular basis, drinking lots of water, keeping the water intake, and then I haven't officially started calorie counting, but I'm paying more attention to it and actually just kind of look at what I'm eating and go, oh wow, that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
I still do want to take advantage of the calorie counter that you were talking about, because I know I'm going to get to a point where I think I'm going to have to use something like that just to...
You might kind of hit like a
plateau,
a little
yeah.
bit, and then that'll kind of get you over that edge.
Yeah, so...
For sure.
So, but definitely making effort to look at that. And then I went for my first official run, not like on the treadmill, but did a mile throughout my neighborhood here, and that felt really good. I like running a lot, and so I just want to get back into that. Yeah. So that felt good. Some challenges. I need to start stretching. I'm not a good stretcher. I just don't want to do it typically, but I'm starting to feel some aches and pains that I think would easily be resolved through stretching, especially after working out so much. So
Yeah, dude.
Definitely need to start doing that. And that was pretty much my only challenge, is just I need to challenge myself to do that.
I have like a full cool down stretching routine that I do, whether I'm at 9 round or I did it last night. Sometimes like when I do like something last night where it's a quicker, a little bit less impact, slightly less intense. It was still a really good workout I did last night, but it's not like I'm at 9 round, but I have like a full thing that I do. If you want it, I could give it to you.
Yeah.
And just let you know what it is and show you what the stuff is. I never fucking stretched until then. I started going in 9 round. It was probably 6-7 months into 9 round. I was just kind of feeling that same way. I was just like, fuck, man. And I'm like, my body's just fucking aching. I'm sore all the time. It's like, I still get sore.
Yeah.
And there's still certain things where I have aches and pains, but most of that stems from me being stupid and doing stuff at school.
Yeah.
For the most part, though, just working out like these last 2 weeks, I haven't done anything. I haven't participated in my classes or anything, and I felt fucking great.
Yeah.
And so that's stretching is so fucking important. And it's funny because I'm a health and fitness teacher. We're literally in our personal fitness unit with my freshmen, and we just last week I gave them the lesson about the 3 phases of a workout: warm up, the actual workout, and then cooling down.
Yeah.
And how all 3 of them are equally important pieces.
Yeah.
But the cool down almost always get if one of them is getting forgotten, it's the cool down.
Yeah.
You run out of time, you just finish your workout and you leave, whatever it is, right? It just doesn't happen. And so Cool. Yeah. The stretch part it really is super important. So I definitely recommend doing that. And like I said, I'll show you what I do, and you can like make tweaks and stuff to like fit whatever you're doing. Yeah. I'll add or take certain things away depending on what like the primary focus of what I hit that day was too.
Yeah.
But that's the thing I like about 9 round, because it's like a full body stretch that I do. I hit pretty much all of the main things, because 9 round, you pretty much hit all of the main things. It's not like I'm not going to LA or Planet Fitness or something where I'm just doing free weights and I'm like focusing on a certain muscle group. But yeah, so anyways, I could write up what I do and show it to you, and
that'd be awesome, man.
If and anything to help, dude.
Yeah. All right, man. All right. That takes us to weigh-in. What are you at now?
I'm down 2 more. I'm at 224.3.
Hell yeah.
So I've lost now, what is that, 17 pounds almost?
Fuck
like 16.8 or whatever the point would be there for poundage. Yeah.
Where are you at again? Sorry, I missed it.
224.3.
Hell yeah, man.
So I started at when we started this, I started at 241.4.
Nice.
So, that's just over 17 pounds. So, yeah, I've lost 17.1.
Crushing ass, man.
Since we started
Crushing
doing
ass.
This. So, like I said this last time too. I was just like, I'm feeling good. My clothes are fitting. Like a lot of my like my normal clothes, it's true. They're like all true classic active wear.
Yeah.
They're like hanging on me now, and I'm like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I'm now lighter than I was when I got married.
Hell yeah, man.
I got to 225 when I got married.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, dude. For real. And I like told Lindsay after I weighed myself, because I weighed myself yesterday morning, and then because I was curious, and then I weighed myself again this morning, and it was the same. And
nice.
I was like, all right, cool, so that's good. But I told Lindsay yesterday, I was like, I'm now the lightest you've ever known me.
That's crazy.
I was like, I'm lighter now than I've only been in like since my senior year of high school. Yeah, since I graduated high school, I've only been lighter than I am right now once, and it was in the summer of 2020 when there was literally nothing for me to do but work out and play video games.
Yeah.
And that was all I did. I'd go on like 5-mile run, I'd do a fucking HIIT workout, I'd take my dogs on walks, and that was the first 6 hours of my day, and then I would play video games for the rest of the day. That's what I did. Yeah. And and I got down to like 217 then. So I'm only like 7 pounds heavier.
You're almost there.
I know. Damn. I mean, fuck our goal that we're going to 210. I'm only fucking 14 pounds away.
Damn, dude.
So, yeah. What about you?
I am down 3.8 pounds.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
And that puts me below 250. That was one of my milestones.
Fuck
and
yeah, dude.
249.8 in the past 3.1 pounds. Down total 13.1 so far since we started this. So,
dude, we're fucking like right there. We're cruising.
Hell yeah, man.
It's funny too because we've literally trended like almost perfectly together.
Yeah.
Like it was like we started it, we were like, all right, cool. Fuck. Cool.
Yeah.
That I'm telling you, and I know it's almost intimidating almost to think of just the amount of work that goes into starting the calorie counting thing. And I don't know if that is what is keeping you from starting fully or not, but I just remember like being like, fuck, it just seems like a lot. But now it's just like, for me, because I've been doing it and I've had it for a while, and I'm like, oh shit, that's right, I need to log.
Yeah.
And then I just like go and log. But once you do it, it is very similar like what you were just saying, but it's even more so because once you start fully doing it, you really do recognize. I'm like, I have these bags of sunflower seeds that the Smackin' brand that I've showed you before. That's like 2 tablespoons. It's 170 calories or something. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So I'm like, all right, I'm not fucking eating those right now or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, it doesn't. It what it has done, it's trended me towards much healthier snacks.
Yeah.
It's trended me towards much better lunches and stuff. Like I'm not taking like super heavy fucking high content but temporary filler lunches anymore. I'm taking like on Friday, what I ate for lunch was a pack of I made a pack of tuna fish with like pickles and some mayonnaise and whatever, mix it all together. I ate the snack packs of Ritz. I make like the little ones. I did one of those, did the pack of tuna with the stuff, and then it was like celery sticks, bell pepper sticks, an apple. It's like that's what I'm eating for lunch now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm fucking full until dinner.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the fuck?
Hell yeah, man.
So, it's you if you start doing that, I'm telling you, you will then also start just dropping even steeper.
Yeah,
it really does. It covers. You start to recognize.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I think
I eat even when I'm trying to not overeat. I'm still fucking overeating, and you don't need to.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah, I think that's just the most intimidating thing is just not doing it, but just how eye-opening it will be of what I'm eating, and probably should make a different choice, and stuff. And so that part just it's not that I'm can't do it. It's just do I want to do it, but it is the next step. It will. I know it's gonna have to come into play. There is gonna be a plateau.
And the nice thing too about doing this and like I've said, because I've done this on and off for years, and it's like today we're watching the Royal Rumble. We bring out some chips and stuff, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not paying attention today. This is like a once every now and then type thing that we do something like this.
Yeah.
So I'm not tracking what the fuck I ate here.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be like, all right, wake up tomorrow, and I'm just back on my grind doing the same thing I always do.
Yeah.
So it's I'm also like, that's the other thing too, is just like not being hella hard on myself about it, because things are gonna come up. I am going to eat out, or me and Lindsay are gonna go on a date. I'm gonna have a fucking steak and potatoes and vegetables, and I'm gonna.
How dare you?
It's gonna be like a fucking 1,200 calorie fucking meal, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm gonna eat that.
Yeah.
And then as long as I'm not doing that, and that's the thing, as long as you're not doing that every day, that's where the change comes in. That's where the progress starts. So
nice.
Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah, man. Successful check-in.
Yes, that's one of the best check-ins we've had together.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
it's my best check-in for sure. So that brings us to Get to it. Ryan, what do you want to talk about?
The Sammy Punk segment backstage on Raw has. So last week I had I had the Sammy KO, and I told you I had the emoji with the little magnifying glass thing.
Yeah.
Because I was like, do I sense a hint of a heel turn potentially? And then I felt like that got amplified a little bit more with the CM Punk interaction backstage. Just the way he kind of, oh yeah, I heard what you said, but just remember, I've main evented WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You have it, I'm not on your level. You're right. I'm not on your level because I've done this and you have not. It was just kind of more like okay, Sammy's fucking going in right now. He's going hard. So I'm like, I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it.
And to kind of build off that, KO gave a very similar speech to Punk on SmackDown.
True. Yeah.
And I didn't even connect the two till just now. So
that is very true.
So maybe you're onto something there. I'm here for it though.
Me too.
Whatever it takes to get Sammy to that next step, because I want it. I want it so bad for him.
I know.
He deserves it. He deserves it so much. Like you said, we're on this wavelength.
Yes, it's our brains. The couple cells we have are just fucking each other.
I want to talk about the Rollins, Gunther, Logan Paul opening and kind of just what it builds into. But I'm glad this happened because I feel like Gunther was getting kind of cast aside. I know he just defended his title against Jey Uso, but it just feels like he's kind of second fiddle in all this lead up to Royal Rumble. And I think this is what he needed, is just having Rollins come out and everything. So Logan Paul even just, maybe I'm going to challenge you. And so it just definitely did that. What I think is great, and I know we talked about the lead up to the Royal Rumble, is just how unpredictable it is, but they've been doing such a good job meshing every single storyline together. And I think this
intertwining everything.
Yeah.
We're in a goddamn Spider-Verse web slinging architecture of craziness.
Yeah, and I think this actually benefits Elimination Chamber as well, because all those feuds are going to be lingering afterwards.
Even think about that.
So it's like they're already thinking 1,000 steps ahead of us.
Because all of those feuds are like the biggest stars on each of the shows.
Yeah.
So when you go to Elimination Chamber,
put them in the chamber, right?
Shit.
You know,
I didn't even think about that.
So so I think while it's been kind of boring storyline wise around anything other than the Royal Rumble, I actually think it's been a good thing for we don't know who's going to win the Rumble or what's going to happen afterwards, but this kind of gives us an inkling of maybe all these stars will be in the Elimination Chamber. So
yeah, for sure. All right, I have JD McDonough, dude.
Wow.
I'm gonna read exactly what I wrote. This first part is I then also have an update, but the first part is before I knew the update. I said JD really showed out. And his broken neck? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Laughing face emoji. Big E really has no excuses now. Update. He actually broke a couple ribs and punctured a lung. Didn't actually hurt his fucking neck, which is fucking mind-blowing with how gigantic that dude's head is. But he's going to be out for a couple months, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That, honestly, like, I really just want to talk about the match as a whole, too.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fucking awesome match. JD and Dom against the War Raiders for the title, like,
they tore down the house.
It was fucking awesome. Like, that was, realistically, I think that might have been the brightest spot of Monday Night Raw, outside of match-wise. I'll say that, right?
Yeah.
It was really fucking good. Like, it was really good. And for JD to take that fucking moonsault spot
to the table,
to the fucking announce table, which look like I've seen so many different camera angles of that now on replays and seeing it on different angles, like people filming in the crowd from social media and stuff, dude. And Dom watched it happen in the ring, and his reaction, he thought JD died. Like, the reaction that he had, like, he legit thought JD was fucking hurt.
Yeah.
And, like everybody did that watched it happen. Like, everybody thought that he was significantly injured neck-wise.
I mean, and just the way he hit, man.
God, that was one of the most gruesome fucking things that I've seen in a long time in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
That is not like a fucking meant to happen thing, right?
Yeah.
And then the motherfucker gets back up and continues the match, and then takes fucking like 4 more wild spots and bumps.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like that was it. He just came in and finished the match clean. No, he then fucking went out and I can't even remember the actual fucking bumps that he took after that, but there were multiple.
Yeah.
Where it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
How is he okay? And well, he wasn't, but he fucking went out and finished the match. And I mean, you know, there are a lot of people who are like commending him for that.
Mm-hmm.
There are some that are like, what the fuck are you doing? That was super dumb. But it was still, regardless of how you feel about it, it was impressive. Like, for him to put on the performance he put on after that was...
Yeah. What shocked me was, just how scary the spot was. I was just like, oh my God. But then how quickly he got up from it all was just insane. And then I felt like he was in the match longer than Dom, like after the fact. Yeah. And I thought it was crazy, but it also just, I mean, it showed his toughness. To your point, I see both sides of it. It's stupid, but you got to give him his flowers, dude. He was hurting. He pushed through, put on. The match just got better after the fact. It wasn't like things slowed down or anything.
And also credit to the other three competitors and the ref for literally doing everything right. In my opinion, at least, for in continuing the match. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you have Dom realistically probably would have made a tag much sooner than he actually did. But it was like, he's kind of like, you could tell he's like kind of eyeballing the ref, like, check, is he good? Like, can I tag him? Should I tag him? Like, is this okay? And the ref kept checking on him, and then like for them to all just continue their thing before the decision that was then made to do that. You know, it was, I don't know. I just thought all around the match was fucking awesome. There was legitimate moments where I was like, holy fuck, JD and Tom are gonna win the tag titles right now.
It was so
like,
close.
There was definitely times where I was like, holy shit, like it was. They made it super believable. Scary moment. They fucking continued on. They played it off. They did really well. JD fucking nothing but respect for me now. Yeah, like I've always kind of been not that I haven't liked JD. I've always kind of shit on JD because that's kind of the character he is, right? Where he's easy to shit on. You know what I mean? And the bobblehead comment, like all this stuff, right? Yeah. But I mean, the dude's fucking tough as nails, and he is really good in the ring. And, and it's that match though, like I think they would be smart to let him be gone for this amount of time that he recovers and gets fully back to good to go, and then come back with like some sort of character change. Maybe not be with maybe have the Judgment Day disband in this time frame and him come back and actually push him for something, because it could be good.
Put him back as Jordan Devlin. That's who he was in NXT and NXT UK. I hate that it takes a spot like this for some people to like see how good he is, but I mean, I'm glad that they do see it and that it could lead to what you're talking about, like a good push for him, because this is the perfect time. Unfortunately, he's out for months, but it could be good for his character. So I got the New Day is losing some of that heat that they garnered from the Big E angle. I think I would have liked it more if they won the tag titles like immediately from the War Raiders and just continued on just being these hateful guys. But now it's just every week going, come on, you don't want to talk to us, you're not going to hang out with us, and it's just, it's the same thing, and it's not going anywhere really, and so it's losing steam real quick.
Yeah, and with now the same fucking thing, but now with Xavier Woods, where like the family turns on them, like none of it's believable. None of it makes any sense. It's just weird. It's uncomfortable. I agree 100%. Like
they had something really good there.
Something really fucking good, and then they've completely fumbled the whole thing.
Because to me right now, New Day feels just like they're in the same spot they were leading up into that moment.
Yeah.
It's just not a lot going on with them, and they're such a good tag team.
It could have and should have really immediately turned into they're like attacking the tag champions and the challengers. Jesus
Yeah.
Fucking words. But like they're just coming out and just like then forcing themselves into these situations as heels.
Yeah.
But right now it's literally they just look like fucking bitches.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, okay, you guys are just whining and fucking complaining. It's a really poor creative angle for that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Something I was so excited for is just kind of gone wayside.
It has so much potential with it, and it just fucking almost not recoverable.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
Now it's almost like if they start doing the other thing, now it's not believable.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It's just like, fuck. Okay, break up.
Yeah.
Break up the New Day. Do what you should have done then back before you did the heel turn. And
yeah.
My next thing, going to SmackDown. The video packages that they're putting together for the KO Cody feud are fucking. This is exactly what I wrote. They feel old school.
Mm-hmm.
Said I wish this match was going to be like an Iron Man match or a Last Man Standing match as opposed to a ladder match. Doesn't feel big enough to me for what they're building this feud as and with these video packages and everything. And just everything, just the kind of almost blood feud that they're in. But these video packages are fucking dope. We've talked about the video package thing before.
Yeah, we have
a few times, and they've gotten back to it, like they've really turned that back around, and the ones building for this are really good.
This is easily one that like has that rewatchability where like
Absolutely.
I'm gonna think about it down the road and go,
Yes.
oh, I'm gonna watch that, just like the My Way, Stone Cold, The Rock, WrestleMania 7. I agree with you 100%. It was a well done video package, and I miss that because it makes those matches feel big and everything. So, good call on that.
Yeah.
I'm going back to Raw. I'm pissed off at Roman Reigns because they teased it like he was going to be there last week, and shame on me because I know they chose their words very carefully because I went back and watched the January 6th episode, but it still felt like they were saying he's going to be at the show, only for it to be Paul Heyman revealing the cover art of 2K game, which is cool on him, but that's not, like, it's the go-home week to Royal Rumble, and you just disappear off the face of the earth after winning the Ula Fala.
It's why Roman Reigns can never, and should never be considered the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah.
It's because you can't be the greatest to ever do it and not fucking be there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. We have seen Cena more times in the last 4 months than we have Roman. Mm-hmm. And Cena's fucking retirement tour didn't kick off until Netflix debut.
Till the debut.
And we have now seen Cena and Roman the same amount of times since 2025 started.
Yeah. Yep.
We saw them on the Netflix debut, and we saw them at the Royal Rumble.
Yep. I just don't...
Like, that's fucking ridiculous.
I just don't get why I should care about any storyline he's in, because he only shows up so little. Like, what? Like, yes, the bloodline, I was into that. But he was showing up a little more. But you had Jay and Jimmy and Sammy driving that. Yes, a little more.
And this is now you're starting to understand why I fucking hated his goddamn title run so much. It's because it was this. It wasn't this blatant.
Yeah.
It wasn't this long of times necessarily, but it was this. For being the champion, it's the same thing when you look at it like ratio wise to scale.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing. He's not a champion now. He's not the face of your franchise, but he's the fucking cover art of. We've seen him like 6 total fucking times since WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You know, obviously that's an exaggeration. He's been there maybe 10 times, but still, that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
He has been on TV. It might be 10 fucking times, dude.
Yeah.
Since he lost the belt at WrestleMania. So I'm not counting WrestleMania since then.
Yeah.
Because we didn't see him until
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So since August, in August, September, October, November, December, January. So in 6 fucking months, we've seen him like 10 times.
Yeah.
And he's on the fucking cover of the new video game.
Yeah.
Makes no fucking sense. Makes no sense.
No.
Why is Punk not on the fucking cover? Put Cody on the fucking cover for the 2nd year in a row. Like, put Jay on the fucking cover.
KO
and Cody.
Drew McIntyre.
Drew and Seth. Like, fuck, dude. Like, the guys that
Dude,
have
Drew and CM Punk
actually been putting the fucking company on their back. And, like, I know the whole storyline is like, oh, CM Punk, you fucking left 10 years ago, blah, blah, blah. But CM Punk has been on almost every fucking episode of WWE.
Yeah.
2 main shows.
Yeah.
Raw almost every fucking week since he returned, even when he was hurt. Mm-hmm. He had a fucking torn tricep, and he was still showing up regularly, fucking tormenting Drew McIntyre with a torn tricep. Roman Reigns has been perfectly healthy this entire fucking time, and we've seen him seriously. You're fact check this, legitly fact check. How many fucking times have we seen Roman on TV since WrestleMania?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. But yeah,
I'm very curious now.
Yeah.
Because they're still leaning into it like it's the same thing, and it's nowhere near the same thing, but they're treating it the same, and it's disrespectful to the fans.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
I think it's disrespectful to the fans. I also think it's disrespectful to like Solo. I know Solo hasn't been around, but you have all this build up to lose the Ulafala, and then you just take him off, like he's just gone. Like that storyline does not feel final to me yet. It is because he's not around to even talk about it. So, but that said, Drew McIntyre saved that segment for me because I was mad that Roman wasn't there, but he came out, and I love I love Drew. Yeah, he just saves everything.
I love to hate Drew.
Yeah.
I feel like Drew McIntyre is like the current landscape of WWE's King Joffrey from Game of Thrones. Yeah. Like, I'm just like, oh god, he's so good at making me fucking hate him.
Yeah.
And that's why I love him.
Yeah.
So much. Like, he's so good at being a heel. Mm-hmm. Because you legitimately don't like him when he's out there.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, fuck you, man. God, you're good at it. Shit, you're good at this. You're good at your job, Drew McIntyre. Good job. I hate you. God, I love you. You know.
Agreed. But I love how he just was like, I'm gonna throw your guy out, and it was CM Punk he was talking, just reminding everyone that he's a Heyman guy. CM Punk is a Heyman guy, and there's still that favor out there, and I think that just helps refresh it. I know the announcers keep talking about it, but this is just another way to keep prodding at it. So, yeah.
All right, my next one is actually, I guess both my next two are fairly quick, but my next one is, I believe I'm curious if we had a little bit of foreshadowing on SmackDown for potential future U.S. title opportunity for Jimmy. So Jimmy's going out to face Carmelo. How does it start? Starts backstage with him talking, doing his thing as he's coming out. And did you notice what I noticed?
Shinsuke in the background lurking.
Just
lurking.
That's literally what I wrote. I said Shinsuke lurking behind Jimmy.
I had to keep on like squinting. I was like, that's Shinsuke in the background.
And like with the title full blown presented to like it was purposefully done. That's why I put this down. Because it wasn't just like wasn't just one of those random backstage things where like the camera's following and there are legitly just like people off in the distance or whatever.
Yeah.
This was done purposefully.
Yes, for sure.
He like walked into camera frame. Like he wasn't just there already. He walked into camera frame and slowly kind of crept away, but while he fucking was like daggers into the back of Jimmy. So I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, and so then that made me start thinking like we have what has, recently seemed like not seemed. It's been a fucking meteoric rise for Jey Uso since he left the Bloodline last year. Just everything he's fucking done. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, could we potentially get a similar type of path for Jay or for Jimmy?
I hope so.
Like that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's kind of broken out onto his own with the Big Jim moniker, and he's doing his own thing, and I'm here for it. So if it whatever he's got going on can lead to potential U.S. opportunity and get him his first singles title, how fucking dope would that be?
That would be sick.
That'd be so sweet.
Let
them kind of do the Hardy Boys thing, right? Where they kind of break off, they do their own singles thing, but then eventually 5, 6, 7 years from now,
bring them back
together, and they go for tag gold again. Yeah. That'd be fucking sweet. That'd be so dope. I would love it.
Dude, I agree with you. I noticed the part where he was lurking, but I didn't even think about that part, and I'm here for that.
That was like the only thing I was paying attention to. I at first I was like, is Shinsuke about to attack Jimmy? But it didn't, and then that even more. Like I was like, okay, that was on purpose. Something's up there. That has to be foreshadowing for potential in the future. Kind of like those Easter egg type seed plants that we had been talking about with Randy Orton, with the looks at Cody with the title and like all that. Still haven't played out yet, but I think they're still planted. They're still planted, and we're watering them every now and then. Still just talking about it. So
I like it.
Yeah, dude.
That brings me to the mid-card titles need some love. Like, where is Lyra? Why is Chelsea still feuding with Michin? I know Braun just defended, but what about before that? It was just like not.
Who did he defend against?
He defended against Sheamus at us.
I know that was rhetorical.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying, and then I'm agreeing with you. Is like they need love. He defended against Sheamus for counting the triple threat at War Games, like the third or fourth fucking time now.
That's true. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, they need some fucking love.
Yeah,
like.
And then I just said Shinsuke's lurking in the background. I like your take on it though. So hopefully that is foreshadowing.
That would be some love. Yeah. That would definitely be some love to the US. Getting new faces in there. But that should be what those fucking titles are for.
Yeah.
Get some new faces involved.
Yeah. I mean, you're supposed to make these feel meaningful, but they fall to the wayside. I know the focus is Royal Rumble, and Royal Rumble is for the World Heavyweight Championship or Undisputed Championship, but they still need love because they are that workman's champion, and they need to be used and defended regularly, and those people need TV time. You got 3-hour show on Raw or whatever time they want to make it now. You got a 3-hour show for SmackDown. That's plenty of time to get them on TV. So
I'm tired of seeing the titles be put aside for mid-card or lower non-title storylines.
Yeah. Since nothing is happening with this New Day, why do they need TV time?
Anything, and this isn't a hit on Braun, it's a hit on creative, but anything to do with Braun Strowman right now.
Oh, yeah.
It just feels like a waste of time.
It's the same storyline.
Again, it's creative. It's very poor use of a fucking massive athletic specimen in Braun Strowman. You could do so much good shit with him, but they're just not.
Yeah.
And it's like the women's are the same fucking thing.
Absolutely.
It's a fucking absolute dumpster fire on the women's side of the division right now. Outside of the fact that I do think they have the two best possible people as champion right now.
No, 100% agreed.
Outside of that, and realistically for the mid-card titles too, I'm good with that also. With Chelsea Green and Lyra. I think that's fucking perfect. But what about everybody fucking else that you have? But we keep getting stuck with seeing fucking Naomi and Nia Jax fucking rub against each other in the ring.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like, that's what we keep getting fucking stuck with.
Yeah. I agree.
Come on, do better.
Yeah.
It's very disappointing. Last thing I have is just the fact that Jacob Fatu is a fucking animal, dude.
He is
a fucking beast.
He's so damn good. He's great on the mic.
He's amazing on the mic. Fucking phenomenal in the ring.
He's got it all. He's the complete package.
But just the after the match attack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, he gets fucking attacked over the barricade, and then he's the one that fucking pops up from it. Like, LA Knight gets him over the barricade, and then he's the one that fucking pops up from it after the match, and then goes after it was just like, oh my god, man.
Yeah.
He's just like, they do a really good job of protecting him during these matches.
Mm-hmm.
To like, I don't think he's taken a loss.
No, he has not taken a loss.
Not been pinned yet.
Nope.
And then continuing to build the kind of aura of him and his character and this fucking just essence that he brings.
Yeah.
With these post-match beatdowns and like all this against fucking legit dudes. Fucking Damian Priest is not a fucking... He's no goddamn everyday Joe, you know?
No.
Like, he's fucking... he's legit. He's solid. And like, it was... All right, fuck. Goddamn.
Yeah. No, 100% agree. They're building him up well. And see big things for him in the future, in the near future.
I was gonna say, do I sense? Do I sniff an elimination chamber entrant?
Oh, I think so. I do. I think so.
Imagine him in a fucking hitting the goddamn moonsault off the top of one of the chambers.
Oh my god. He'd kill himself.
He'd probably end up injuring himself, but god, it would be beautiful.
It would be beautiful.
That was my final thing.
My last thing is we got Triple H in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, dude.
He's finally going in solo. It's well deserved. Sad that we never got official last match for him, like because of health issues that was kind of taken away from him. But everything he's done, that's true. But just everything that he's done as a wrestler, everything he's doing now for the company is just he's so good.
The company is what it is because of Paul Levesque.
Yeah.
Like straight up. And I love the way that he didn't know that this was happening.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like, he had no idea that this was happening. This was like a behind closed doors type fucking decision that was made without him because everyone involved knew that he never would have let it happen.
Yeah.
He would have adamantly been against it.
Yeah.
Because that's just who he is.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
And so for him to be out there, like, addressing the fucking media and everything, and then all of a sudden Shawn Michaels' music fucking hits, and he's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And then fucking Taker's ding comes on, and he's like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And then the second he says Taker says Hall of Fame, and they both look at him, and he's like, motherfucker, you fucking bastard, you guys got me.
I'm gonna kill Nick Khan.
Yeah, but it was cool, you know?
Yeah.
It really felt very good.
He's delivered so many entertaining moments throughout the years. He's been such a huge part from when I first started watching wrestling up until now. And it's sad because it's just another one of the people we grew up watching just off the list. And but good for him. I'm excited for him. Excited for everything that he's going to do for the future because it feels like a new company since he's taken over.
Dude,
it's refreshing. It's exciting. it's everything.
The amount of things that he has done for fan service, like just to name one, the post show, of all the PLEs, the interviews, it makes it feel real.
Yeah,
it makes it feel more inclusive and inviting, and it makes it like it's what every other sport in the world does.
Yeah.
Right? Like every other professional big time sport, they have specific individuals address the media afterwards. So why the fuck do you not keep it in kayfabe and also break kayfabe at the same time and do it?
Yeah.
You know, because like they do such a good job of breaking kayfabe in the sense of they're addressing the media. Because that was never fucking done before in that regard.
Yeah.
You know, like they would go on talk shows in kayfabe.
Yeah.
And so like the talk show was then kind of scripted for kayfabe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now it's like they're doing just full blown interviews after, but they're still keeping it in kayfabe. And it's so well done. And then Paul Levesque comes out, Triple H comes out and does one every fucking show. And he talks about the importance of how the night went and the moments, and he addresses things like, I guarantee you, okay, never mind. Scratch that.
Yeah.
Continue on. You know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But he addresses questions that the fans have about, like, for lack of a better term, botches. I know botch is kind of a taboo word for wrestling, but he addresses those things. The fucking the no count.
Oh yeah.
I forget who was that with?
It was Priest and Gunther, yeah.
Right? Was it Priest and Gunther?
Priest and Drew. Priest and Drew.
Yeah. And Clash at the Castle.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And so like that type of thing, and he's like, it looks like he fucking counted to 3. You know, he was just yeah, but we saw what you saw, you know? like I love it because it's that walking the fine line of kayfabe and reality. Yeah. That never happened under the old regime. Yeah. It was kayfabe, take it to your grave. Yeah. You know, type of thing. And so and that's just to name one of the fucking, and that's just a small thing. Yeah. Like I love
how he's just so like invested in every single superstar. Like he's genuinely excited for them, and you get that sense definitely. So very excited for the cerebral assassin, the King of Kings, the game. Triple H is going into the Hall of Fame. That brings us to Banger of the Week. Ryan, what do you got?
JD McDonough, hands down, no questions asked.
That's a good one.
I don't know what you have. And obviously, you can have your thought. I don't think there was a single thing from this week that could have potentially swayed me otherwise. Everything that we already said. Is to take that fucking bump, which was not a planned bump. That was obviously, like, that was a fucking scary moment that could have been so much fucking worse. Mm-hmm. And for him to just get back up and then put on the rest of that fucking match the way he did. Yeah. Nothing but fucking respect from me. And he, like, banger of the week. And that is the least I could say about it. So
I like it. I got Miz and Andrade. The match doesn't even need a storyline. The two just cooked in this match. It had no business being that good because it's just out of nowhere. Yeah. But it was a killer match. Andrade is just so smooth in the ring. He's just so good. But Miz, I feel like to this day, is so underrated and underappreciated.
Absolutely. Miz is one of... We talked about it so many times with so many people. And their ability to, no matter who they're in the ring with, be good. Mm-hmm. Sell whatever. Make people look good. The Miz might be... He's one of the best.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And is he the best? I don't know. There's a lot of people that you could throw that same title on, but he's fucking up there.
He's just so consistent too.
Yes,
so consistent. And
you can tell like how much it means to him. Mm-hmm. No matter what fucking bullshit storyline is thrown at him, because he has had some of the worst fucking creative angles laid on him. He fucking takes everything and he turns it to gold.
Yeah.
He turns it to money. There have not been a lot of storylines since The Miz debuted that have just gone completely awry.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Like there's not really any that I can think of off the top of my head that have just been kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
It's like every angle he's been involved in since he actually debuted as The Miz character.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Hit. And it's made money for the company.
Yeah.
Because he takes everything and is just like, all right, fuck it. That's what you guys have for me. I'm going to make it as fucking... I'm going to blow the roof off of it. I'm going to make it bigger than you guys think it could possibly be.
Yeah.
And you can tell
it definitely feels like that, too.
You can tell that's the character he has, which is why sometimes we've talked about it. It's like, it's a little cheesy. Mm-hmm. But that's because he is fucking going 180% into everything he does.
Yeah.
And super respectable. So.
Yeah, I like it. That brings us to Belt's Game of the Week. I snuck this one in on you.
Belt's Game of the Week.
I
wasn't expecting this.
So what we're going to do is our fun game of Rank 'em again.
Fuck.
So...
entrance themes, I'm assuming, since you pulled out a speaker.
Yep.
So you're going to play them.
So I'm going to play the
5 again.
5 songs, and we're just going to play them. You got to put them in what you want to rank them, okay?
Fuck me. I hate this already, but alright.
So,
God damn it.
Here we go. You ready?
No. Yes.
Time to play the game. Time to play the game.
1 out of 5. Where do you put that?
3.
3. Okay.
R.I.P. Let Me Kill Meister.
I hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me.
This is hard because I just don't know where you're going to go.
I don't know where I'm going. This is on shuffle.
Are you for real?
I made a playlist and put it on shuffle.
Oh, god damn it. How many are in the playlist?
Just 5. Just the 5 songs.
Oh, so you know what the 5 are.
No, I know what 5,
yeah,
but I don't know what order they're coming out.
I thought you meant like you put like 10 on and you're like, I don't know what the 5 are going to be.
I should have done that, damn it.
Oh, fuck, that's good. That's the thing is I'm like, I don't know if you're going to throw fucking some bullshit at me.
I don't think there's any bullshit on this one.
Okay.
I think they're all bangers.
Because I'm like, okay, because that's where I'm like, I'm
not gonna throw Eugene's song on here.
I'm already a little mad at myself. I'm gonna go 4.
Okay, 4. Next.
This is Lita?
No.
This is the Hardys?
This is No More Words, Jeff Hardy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. Now that it picked up. At the very beginning, kind of sounded
a little bit,
like
yeah.
Lita's, because I was like, that's slower, but it had the same kind of tune. No More Words, Jeff Hardy. 5.
Wow, I thought that would go higher. All right, next.
Nah, I'm not.
Adrenaline in my soul.
Oh, it really did. Oh, God, it's really gonna Oh God. I'm okay with what I've said so far.
Okay.
Outside of, I'll explain after, but it really depends on what the fifth one's gonna be. Oh God, I'm gonna fucking feel like an idiot. Fuck, I'm counting on you. I'm going 2.
Going 2 on that.
Uh-oh. I fucked up, didn't I?
If you close your eyes, your life, and if you choose to reveal, since you never lived, this scar's never healed.
That's got to be number 1.
That's 1. Whose is that? Why am I
That's
fucking
Christian's.
That's Christian. That's right. Okay, yeah. I fucking love that theme though. Okay.
So that was number 1 for you. How would you re-rank them? So first of all, you have Christian, Just Close Your Eyes, number 1. You have Cody Rhodes, Kingdom, number 2. You got The Game, Triple H, number 3. You got Voices, number 4. And then No More Words, Jeff Hardy, number 5. Would you rank them any other way?
I would. With those being the 5, I think I would keep Triple H at 3.
Okay.
I think I would go Voices 1,
Okay.
Cody 2. I would go Christian 4, and I'd keep Jeff at 5
All right.
for that. That is not my favorite Hardys.
Gotcha.
The OG Team Extreme Hardys is hands down my favorite.
Gotcha.
If that would have been there, that would have been much higher up on the list. Yeah, that was a good all around solid 5 though, because like Christians, that's why I was like, I love this song and I know it, but I could not remember whose it was because it's been so fucking long since I heard it. Yeah, I really like that theme too. So like that even being at 4, I'm like, fuck, that seems low, but I'm like,
it's 1 out of 5, so
yeah, out of 5, and compared to the other 3 that are ahead of it. But I think I would go Orton number 1.
Okay.
I think personally, to me, that's the best theme on those 5.
Mm-hmm.
Cody and Triple H, I think, are a lot more close for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I give Cody the tip because of the crowd interaction with it.
Yeah.
Right? Like it has that overness to it. Triple H's is just fucking nostalgic.
Yeah.
Like
it fits his character so
it does. It's
good.
It's great. And Motorhead's fucking one of the greatest metal bands of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, R.I.P. Lemmy Kilmister. Fun fact for you, I got to see them live before Lemmy Kilmister died.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Fucking amazing and loud.
Was it?
The loudest show I've ever seen, and I've been to a lot of metal concerts. Jason's my older brother.
Yeah.
So he's dragged me to a lot of them. Fucking insanely loud. It was so good, though. They were amazing. But, yeah.
Nice.
That was solid. I'm curious, what would you have ranked them?
I would put The Game number 1.
I knew you would. I knew you were going there.
I'm going to do Just Close Your Eyes, Christian number 2. I would do Kingdom number 3. I would do Voices number 4, and then 5. Jeff's number 5.
I'm a little surprised you put Christian's.
I love that song. I love the original version, Waterproof Blonde's version of it, but the Story of the Year version goes hard as well. So, big fan of that. So it's always been one of my top favorite songs. That
was a good and a tough 5.
Yeah,
that was like there.
I
guess for me, like I said, Jeff's was the easy 5th.
Yeah,
because while it's still fucking iconic Jeff Hardy, it just wasn't, that one never hit for me as much.
Gotcha.
It was a little slower. It was, I don't know. It just didn't have the same fucking like get my blood pumping type.
Yeah. See, I thought it signaled that single run for him really well.
And I agree
connect
with you.
and I connected very closely to his title win, and so
I agree. I totally agree with you. 100%.
But I agree. I do put the Hardy Boys theme song
Hardy
over.
Boys theme is God, dude. That's one of my all-time favorite theme songs is that fucking song. And you know what's crazy is I saw Jeff one of the many Jeff Hardy Chris Van Vliet interviews. Chris Van Fleet. I said that weird. And apparently that song is like it's just like a fucking out there song.
Yeah, like I think I saw the same one.
Anybody could anybody could fucking use it or find it or whatever. It's like not like copyrighted or owned necessarily. Like it's just kind of a out there song, which is kind of crazy. And Jeff was like, it's just named this, and he's like, I think it was this name, but it's just the one that we fucking went with.
Yeah, because he was saying it was like in a commercial he saw, and I know he had the same song in AEW, and so I was just like, oh, they just paid for the rights for it, but. When I saw that, I was also surprised. Yeah,
which is why, because it's like to us, obviously, like we're obviously massive wrestling fans, and have always been. So that seems wild to us that it's just because we hear that and that is, that's the Hardys, But like, there's probably somebody else out there. They're like, oh yeah, that's that commercial song, like that's fucking weird to think about.
I would not be able to know the first part of trying to look this up, but I remember seeing in a trailer for a movie one time, and I want to say, I want to say Jackie Chan was in the trailer, so maybe that'll help me dwindle it down. But was
if you find the name of the song, you could probably look up the name of this. I think it was like Loaded or something like that. I think that's what Jeff said on that interview. But anyways, like you could look up the name of the song. And then probably on Wikipedia and see what it was.
Yeah, just see if it was. Yeah, because I almost vividly remember seeing it in the trailer. So I'll be curious to look that up.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, that brings us to the belts question of the week. You posed this one.
I did. So with the Royal Rumble having been today, I figured I have a couple belts questions that are in that vein. And so I went with what is your favorite Royal Rumble of all time?
Okay. My favorite Royal Rumble is 2001 Royal Rumble. The whole pay-per-view minus the Women's Championship match was amazing. It was also the first Royal Rumble match that I watched. But it was great to see Stone Cold win his third. It was a very loaded Royal Rumble. It wasn't a lot of surprises per se, but you had The Rock in it, you had Triple H. It had a lot of big names in it. And then Kane was super dominant in that one. He held the record for a very long time with 11 eliminations.
He had the most, right?
Yeah.
That was where he set the record.
And he was the runner-up in that where Stone Cold eliminated him to win. So it overall was good. We had Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit in a ladder match for the IC title. We had the Dudleys versus Edge and Christian in a titles match. And so it was just a banger of a pay-per-view. So,
all right.
What about you?
I'm going to be totally honest with you. And disclaimer, when I wrote this, I was just talking
just
Royal
the
Rumble
Royal Rumble match? Oh,
so
okay.
that's all I put down. Because my brain doesn't work the same as yours when it comes to remembering wrestling history. So that's all I have. Is specifically the Royal Rumble.
Now that's fine.
I don't remember the rest of the pay-per-view from.
But I mean, even that Royal Rumble is my favorite. So it's not just the pay-per-view. It was just that Royal Rumble.
Mine was the 2008 Royal Rumble match, which for a few reasons. A, you had Michaels and Taker 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. Like they started the fucking match, and then not only did they start the match, they both lasted over 30 minutes in the match as 1 and 2, with just the fucking history that they have together, and then what continued after, and just everything. You also got a really cool fucking moment in that match, which is I think something that we are missing in current era Royal Rumbles, which was you had a Rowdy Roddy Piper, Jimmy Snuka face off in that Royal Rumble.
That's true. I remember that.
And that's something that like it's hard because like I get it because it's like the current, especially the current landscape of wrestling since Triple H took over. It's like it really is all about like building the future and propping up these fucking NXT, and like that's kind of what we're getting now is like the NXT entrance into the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches, as opposed to pulling from the history.
Yeah,
and I get that.
Yeah, for
100%
sure.
get that, but I still think that is something that we are missing.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that.
And so, like, you got in 2008, you got two dudes that were fucking big in the
huge,
80s, like 20 years before.
Yeah,
were two of the biggest fucking superstars of the time, facing off then, and who had huge feuds.
Yeah,
Mind you, back then too. So it wasn't like it was just like, oh, these two are both fucking legends. Cool.
Yeah.
It was like there's fucking history here between these two guys.
And that face-off still felt big in that Rumble.
So it was cool. It was like a fan service thing, which, like I said, I get the propping up of the younger wrestlers and the next generation. I understand that 100%. I totally get it. I think it is the smart move, but I do feel like we're still missing a little bit of that fan service in the Royal Rumble matches. So, Hornswoggle hiding under the ring.
Yeah,
Hornswoggle is such an underrated fucking character in the history of the WWE, dude. There was like a 10-year span where he was fucking hilarious, comedy gold. On screen, like, it was just great. And this was one of those moments, was the hiding under the ring during, I believe he slid out underneath the bottom rope and then like went under the ring and just hid under there for a little while before he then did get eliminated. But and then the obvious reason behind this is the utterly shocking, like legitimately potentially the most shocking return in the history of the WWE was John Cena returning from the injury that was supposed to keep him out for an extremely significantly longer amount of time than it did. It ended up being like 4 months or something like that he was out, like 3 or 4 months, and it was like they've done like the what is it, like the A&E or whatever it is, the documentaries and stuff about it, and he's like gone on to say like that's because like, you know, this is like the schedule typically when you get hurt for rehab. I wasn't doing anything else. I was at rehab 3 to 4 times a day. Like he was just gunning to get back. That was his life. He was gunning to get back, and that's what makes him arguably the GOAT. You know, it was like that fucking work ethic and that drive. And that's why the feud that he had with Roman and he was pulling out, like, if you were doing your job, I wouldn't be here type of thing. Like when he's already
still
off
one
to
of the
Hollywood,
best lines.
it's just so fucking good. And it was true. That was the thing. Like they brought Cena back because Roman, whether you like it or not, was not doing his job. He was not pulling what he was supposed to be doing. So they had to bring Cena back to bring numbers back up. Every time Cena is on camera, numbers are up. Whether he's being booed or cheered, numbers are up. Because people know what John Cena means to the industry. And so it's one of those where it's just, there's only one other, I think, return at a Royal Rumble that I would put even.
Gotcha.
Which leads me to my next question. What surprise entrant, legend, celebrity, return, etc., any of those in the category of surprise entrant is your all-time favorite from a Royal Rumble match?
It's Edge's return in 2019. I was really big into not reading rumors around on the road to WrestleMania, so was not reading websites or anything, trying to avoid any spoilers. So, legitimate surprise in that Royal Rumble, and I'm an Edgehead. I'm a Rated R Superstar fan, and I had chills. I had tears. I was just so excited for it. I didn't think he was ever going to come back, and I already had my goodbye with him, and then he came back, and it was just incredible. And the crowd,
still going.
yeah, and the crowd reaction to it was incredible. It was the
insane.
best surprise entrant for me, easily.
That was the other one.
Yeah,
that I was alluding to, because I had a feeling that was going to be yours. Yeah, that was I wrote Cena in 2008 or Edge's return in 2019.
Yeah,
it was for totally different reasons too, right? Like Cena's was a legitimate shock,
just
surprise,
legit shock
because of how quickly he returned, full strength, ready to go.
Yeah.
And then like you've seen interviews and you've seen like the stories and the behind the scenes and stuff of like the fucking people in the match didn't know he was coming back because they didn't know he was in the like the higher ups, the brass didn't know that he was returning for this match, essentially, like if it was for sure or not until like during the match type of thing. Like it was kind of like a CM Punk returning at Survivor Series last year.
Yeah.
Or I guess technically 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2023 Survivor Series. Where it was like completely hidden, covered up, like nobody knew, and then like so the reaction to his music hitting by Triple H and everyone else in the ring was legitimate shock. Like they're all like, "What the fuck? What is he doing here?" And he comes back and he was like full blown, and then ends up fucking winning it. Like Cena's gone on to say like, yeah, no, like nobody knew I was going to win the match until I was there. Yeah, you know, and like the guys in the ring didn't know I was going to win the match.
Where they just like number 30's winning, and
again, 2008, much different time. Right?
Yeah,
like social media didn't exist, or you know what I mean. Like
it was way less
now. It practically didn't exist.
Yeah.
It was so MySpace. Fresh and new. Yeah, exactly. It was literally MySpace and fucking and like instant messenger. Like there was nothing else really. So yeah, and then Edge's was more emotional, I think. Like Cena's was the shock of just like how the fuck did he like how the fuck is he here right now? And Edge's was more of, I mean, there was obviously the how is he here right now because of what caused him to retire in 2011 in the first place. Yeah, but it was more of an emotional like holy fuck, I can't believe, because we thought he was done. Yeah. Nobody thought Cena's career was over. They just thought he was going to be out for fucking 9 months or whatever it was.
Yeah, similar to Cody Rhodes.
Whatever
right?
it was, right? Yeah. It was just like, that was just like utter shock of just, holy shit, this dude is like a Man of Steel type thing.
Seriously.
Like he has some form of Wolverine mutant regenerative thing.
Yeah.
And Edge's was, holy shit, his career's not done. Yeah. So they're both right at the top for me. I couldn't pick one. I put Cena in 2008 or Edge and Edge's return. So
good choices, man.
Hell yeah, man.
All right.
Good questions for Royal Rumble weekend.
Hell yeah. That brings us to Blockbusters.
I almost forgot to say it again. I was just letting you roll with it.
I'm good taking the lead.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to join this.
We got a loaded Blockbusters section here.
We do.
But a lot of good ones.
I done us up well, and yeah, it's a lot of fucking exciting shit coming out. And like the majority of everything that's on here was stuff that I literally saw for like the first time this week. Mm-hmm. Like there's maybe one or two things on here I think that like I knew of beforehand. This one specifically is like I had never heard of this before. Mm-hmm. I didn't know who was in it. I had no idea. I just saw a riff raff something and I was like, what the fuck's that? And I clicked on it and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is crazy. So this movie is called Riff Raff. The synopsis for this is Vincent is an ex-criminal who who, more than anything, just wants a normal, peaceful life. He and his wife, Sandy, have built a loving family with their son, DJ, and are spending the winter break at their vacation cabin before DJ leaves for college. Chaos ensues when Vincent's disowned son, Rocco, his girlfriend, Marina, and Vincent's ex-wife, Ruth, abruptly show up to spoil the festivities with an ominous warning. Vincent's former associate, the famed gangster Lefty, and his new sidekick, Lonnie, are coming for them. The cast... And this is just to name some of the people that are in this fucking movie. Ed Harris, Bill Murray, Pete Davidson, Jennifer Coolidge, and Lewis Pullman. Holy shit. Release date is February 28th of this year, and it will be in theaters.
Dude, the trailer looks awesome.
Looks so fucking
it's
good.
Hilarious.
Oh my God. Yeah. So to put the synopsis and the characters kind of into connection here, Ed Harris is Vincent. Ed Harris is the main guy who they're talking about here. Jennifer Coolidge is his ex-wife. Lewis Pullman is the son that is there now, like that shows up with Jennifer Coolidge. So Lewis Pullman is Rocco. Bill Murray and Pete Davidson are Lefty and Lonnie, respectively. Bill Murray is Lefty. And then Pete Davidson is Lonnie. And then obviously there's other characters in it. The trailer looks fucking wild. It looks hilarious. It looks really good. Just all around looks. I was super stoked to just put this on. And this is the first thing I added to the agenda.
Yeah. So. No, of everything that is on here, I think I'm the most excited about this. It's it's great to see Bill Murray in anything, and then Jennifer Coolidge is just hilarious and so just super funny in this trailer. Really excited, looking forward to this one.
Next up, we have this whole pretty much blockbuster section is going to be me talking. By the way, I added pretty much everything.
I got a couple things, but it's mostly Ryan.
Things, but I added pretty much everything to it because I was just on one this week. So this one's called The Wedding Banquet. I thought this was kind of a change up from things that we typically cover.
I absolutely agree.
And I thought it was interesting. I thought it looked super funny. And so that's why I threw it on here. But the synopsis for this is Angela and her partner Lee have been unlucky with their IVF treatments, but can't afford to pay for another round. A description of... Oh, sorry. I don't need to read that part. I don't even know why I put that part in here. Meanwhile, their friend Min, the closeted scion of a multinational corporate empire, has plenty of family money, but a soon-to-expire student visa. When his commitment-phobic boyfriend Chris rejects his proposal, Min makes the offer to Angela instead. A green card marriage in exchange for funding Lee's IVF. But their plans to quietly elope are upended when Min's skeptical grandmother flies in from Korea unannounced, insisting on an all-out wedding extravaganza. The cast is Bowen Yang, known from SNL, Lily Gladstone, and Kelly Marie Tran. The release date is April 18th, 2025, and it will be in theaters also.
Yeah, man, I watched this. I was like, we don't got horror movies, and it's totally out of left field, but the trailer looks hilarious.
It's super funny.
It's definitely different than what we have been talking about, but also really excited for it. Just I like the premise of the story.
Yeah, it's so the synopsis, what the synopsis doesn't cover, it kind of does, but it's kind of like almost backhanded covers it. It doesn't really like outright say it. It's two same-sex partners, right?
Yes.
It's two girls that are together that are doing the IVF treatments, and then it's two guys that are together, and one of the guys is the soon-to-expire student visa.
Yeah.
And then the guy ends up, instead of proposing to the boyfriend, proposes to the other girl to fix the visa thing, and also stay in the closet to his family, right? So it's that whole fucking thing, and it looks fucking hilarious. It looks super funny.
I can just picture all the uncomfortable, funny moments that are going to come up throughout the movie. So really excited you put that on there, because I don't know if I would have found that trailer. So good on you
for sure. Next up, in this one, I'm very excited for because this was almost canned. So this movie is called Magazine Dreams. The synopsis for it is, in the Magazine Dreams trailer, Major's character is obsessed with becoming a world-famous bodybuilder. In order to do so, Killian pushes himself to the absolute limit while he also gradually isolates himself from the rest of the world. The cast is Jonathan Majors, Haley Bennett, and Taylor Page. The release date is March 21st, 2025, and this will also be in theaters. The cool thing about this movie and the fact that we're getting a trailer for it and it has a premiere date and everything is because of all the shit Jonathan Majors went through that got him fired from Kang the Conqueror and the MCU and everything. This was also scrapped originally. Like, it was, the release date was pulled. Like, it was just, everyone thought that this was just kind of going to be one of those projects that went into limbo and never saw the light of day. And now that time has passed and Jonathan Majors has he's working on a little bit of a resurgence of his career over the last couple of years, since the last couple of years of everything that happened. Surprisingly, Disney is putting this movie out. And so the trailer for this is, holy shit.
Yeah.
Anxiety riddled and
almost emotional.
Very
like
emotional.
I felt
It's very
I felt
emotional.
it was like kind of choking up in the trailer, so I can only imagine what the movie's going to be like.
It has in a completely different tone. It has a very similar feel to some of those horror movies the trailers that we've watched recently, where it's like the whole trailer, it's just like this tension is just fucking building. And you're watching it. You're almost in the trailer. You're almost watching. You feel like you're seeing the beginning and then working towards the end of the mental deterioration of this character, right? And so yeah, like I said, it's a completely different fucking tone and genre and everything, but has a similar vibe to you. Like, start watching it, and then as it's ramping up, you're just like, holy shit, what is going on? Yeah. But then also there are those super emotional, because this movie is going to deal a lot with like mental illness and stuff like that too. And so there's those, parts to it as well. So
yeah, man,
I'm excited for it.
Trailer was amazing for it. I'm excited for it. Jonathan Majors got some acting chops on him, because holy hell, I'm excited to see that one.
Yeah. All right, next up we have the movie Together. The synopsis for this is, in Together, a move to the countryside tests the limits of a couple's relationship, where a supernatural encounter begins an extreme transformation of their love, their lives, and their flesh. The cast of this movie is real-life husband and wife, Allison Brie and Dave Franco. The release date is August 1st, 2025, and this will also, again, be in theaters.
I just saw this pop up on my social media feed, and I had this on a list of things to talk about as well.
There's no trailer for it yet. I will be looking for a trailer. We'll do a follow up on it when the trailer does come out, because I feel like the trailer for this is going to be fucking wild. The synopsis for it is what made me put this on here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, holy shit, that sounds crazy. So, you one yawn later. And I thought it was, I've always found projects interesting when you do have a real life couple acting together. Yeah. And I feel like that just adds a whole other layer to the project. And so Allison Brie and Dave Franco are husband and wife in real life. And I could be wrong. I don't fully know this. I want to say this is the first project they've done together.
Yeah, I'm not. I didn't even know they were married. So
I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything that I know of that they've been in together. But I would be willing to bet this is definitely the first thing like this that they've been in together.
Yeah,
because this is the first horror type movie I will have ever seen Dave Franco in. So
agreed.
But yeah, so the synopsis and the idea of this I thought was interesting and wanted to throw it on there.
It caught my eye, and glad you put it on here, because I think I was gonna wait till a trailer, but no, I'm glad you put it on here. So holy shit, this one.
Yes. This movie is called Ash. The synopsis for it is, on the mysterious planet of Ash, Rhea awakens to find her crew slaughtered when a man named Brian arrives to rescue her. An ordeal of psychological and physical terror ensues while Rhea and Brian must decide if they can trust one another to survive. The cast is Isa Gonzalez is Rhea or Rhea. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce the name of the character. And then Aaron Paul is Brian. And I'm assuming that's how it's spelled, or that's how it's pronounced. It's just spelled different than I've ever seen the name Brian spelled.
Yeah.
But Brion. Brian? I'm not sure.
I think
we'll
Brian.
find out. But yeah, the release date for this is March 21st, 2025. And once again,
In the theaters.
Which I'm loving the trend here and the theme here of all these movies coming out in theaters, because I think that's super important, that things aren't just going to streaming.
Yeah.
Even though I know that's easy and it's simple, but we can't let the theater business die.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed.
So I love that all these movies that we've been talking about are coming out in theaters.
And when I first, because I like watching the trailer before reading anything about it. And when I was watching the trailer, it said Shudder, and I was like, oh, it's on that streaming platform of Shudder. And they've been putting out a lot of good movies recently. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to have to potentially look into getting Shudder. But then noticed that it was coming to theater. So,
yeah.
But the trailer is just crazy for this one.
Yes.
But I'm excited for that. And then it's great to see Aaron Paul and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a minute since I've seen him in something.
When I first read like the headline on the site that I use, it said Isa Gonzalez. I don't recognize her from anything.
Yeah,
I don't know her necessarily from anything. At least not like out the gate. But when it said Aaron Paul, I for some reason was thinking of Logan Paul's brother. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, now he's somehow pulled boxing into a fucking movie deal? I was like, what are we doing? And so that's what led me to actually watch this trailer. And I'm watching the trailer, and then the fucking
clicked in your head.
Yeah, the fucking kid from Breaking Bad pops up, and I was like, oh, that's Aaron Paul. Jake Paul is who the fuck I was thinking of when I read it. I was like, oh, that's right. And then, but then that instantly made me like more engaged in than what I was watching, because it was, and whether this is right or wrong, it was believable to me at that point.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh yeah, Aaron Paul is actually an actor. Like, not just a social media mogul turned boxer then turned fucking movie star. Like, I was like, what the fuck is happening? And then I was like, oh yeah, that's right, Aaron Paul is this dude.
Yeah,
I know who that is. I don't know why the fuck my brain went the other way, but yeah, so
this one looks good for sure.
yes.
That brings us to the series section of our blockbusters.
This one looks fucking intense.
I know, you beat me to the punch on this one. I was going to put it on here.
Yeah. Okay. So this is called Happy Face. So it's the synopsis is inspired by a true life story, which are things that we both fucking love.
Yes, for sure.
Happy Face tells the story of Melissa Reed, the daughter of Keith Jesperson, a.k.a. the Happy Face Killer. After decades of no contact, Keith forces his way back into his daughter's life, and Melissa must find out if an innocent man is going to be put to death for a crime her father committed. In the process, she must face a reckoning of her own identity. The cast is Dennis Quaid as the Happy Face Killer in... Well, I can now say, I guess, what will probably be the second most fucked up role I've seen him in.
Yep.
Foreshadowing.
Yep.
And Annalee Ashford as Melissa Reed, the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So Annalee Ashford plays Dennis Quaid's daughter in this. The release date will premiere the first 2 episodes on March 20th, 2025, and this will be on Paramount Plus.
Nice.
So this fucking trailer.
Dennis Quaid is creepy as fuck.
Dennis Quaid is a creepy old man. And
Yeah, he is.
I love him for it.
I didn't think I would ever say that statement.
I know. Because he's always been in...
He's always like that... Well, it's funny because he is a father in this, but he's like a father figure. Like, like a good father figure. Yeah.
Right? Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan.
Yours,
And-
Mine, and Ours, I think he was in,
Yeah,
right?
that, or he was the fucking football coach in Any Given Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Or he's the loving dad who goes on the rescue mission in Day After Tomorrow. Like,
Yes.
or like all those. This is not that.
No, it is not.
This is not that at all. And yeah, so
But I'm here for it, too.
Yeah, for sure. I'm fucking stoked for this. It looks really good. I love true crime, real life story type things turned into shows or movies or whatever. Like I love all that stuff. So I'm really excited for this, and
Yeah.
I will probably do a little more reading up on the Happy Face Killer because I don't know that I know that much about this serial killer. I know a lot about a lot of other serial killers, but I don't know that I know. Sounds weird to say. I don't know that I know very much about this. So I'm excited to do a little more digging into this as we're creeping closer to it coming out, which is right around the fucking corner.
God, there's a lot coming out in these next 2 months.
I don't know if you've paid attention to our like tracking.
I haven't.
sheet.
I need to.
I got all the outside of. I think this episode is the only one that I haven't updated.
Okay.
I think I updated last week. If not, I have last week and this week to update. But other than that, I have everything updated. And movies, I haven't done as much with the I have all the TV shows we've talked about on there.
Yeah.
But I haven't done as much with like the actual organization as I have with the movies. But like, I've like put everything that is currently out. I've like put out now, and I like highlighted it green so that like we know like those are the things that are out right now.
Okay.
And then we have like the platform that it's out on and stuff. So like
Sick,
that's
man. That's awesome.
I had some time this morning when Lindsay was out and about when I was with Lainey, and that's what led me. I told you earlier, I watched Dear Santa because I went on that, and I was like, "What's some shit we've covered that I want to watch?"
Yeah,
that's out right now. And I was like, I've decided I'm going to try to make my binge recap at the end of the month a little bit better.
I like it.
So I'm trying to put a little more effort into it.
I like it. Now this one looks really good. Just like when she's at the prison or jail and he comes sitting down, I just instantly got like Silence of the Lamb vibes a little bit.
Absolutely. Oh my god.
Don't think it's gonna be quite that level, but it looks really good.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's a series.
Yes.
I like that because I feel like this is the type of thing. Actually, I don't even know if I say feel like. I can't think of another story that is based on this type of thing. I can't think of one off the top of my head that has been turned into a series. I feel like most of them are turned into movies.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was the Ted Bundy one on Netflix with was it Ted Bundy?
Yeah.
You know, it's the guy that played in X-Men movies. Yeah. Pedro
Evans.
Yeah. Also an American Horror Story.
Yeah, and WandaVision.
Yep.
Peter Evans.
Yep.
Evan Peters. Evan Peters. That's what it was. Sorry, I'm dyslexic.
But that was a series, and I think those kind of things.
Tim didn't catch what I just said. I said dyslexic. It's dyslexic. Tim didn't catch that
because I'm dyslexic.
No, you're dyslexic. Anyways.
But
so yeah, there was that, but
I think
also.
I think what you're trying to say is it deserves that kind of like
Yeah,
series feel to it. It gives you time
I feel like,
to tell the story.
Yeah, you with episodes, and I don't know how many episodes are going to be in the season. I have no idea if this is going to be a multi-season thing or if this is going to be a one-season thing, like limited series type thing. I have no idea. But what I'm saying is, typically when you have episodes of something, you're looking at an hour.
Yeah.
Right. Anymore, like unless it's a sitcom, like sitcoms are still typically
30
on
minutes.
that, 30-minute kind of strict time frame. But most other things are 45 to 60 minutes or even a little longer sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? So 2 episodes almost is a fucking feature length.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I mean, I guess anymore you're looking at fucking feature length being like 2.5 fucking hours regularly, but still that's like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right? That's like 3 hours.
Yep.
Or sorry, that's like 3 episodes of a show.
Yeah.
Like the first 2 episodes premiere on March 20th. It's not going to be 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be a multi-episode thing. So it just allows you to dive deeper into story. You can get more creative with character, investment, and everything. So development and all of it. I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah. Agreed.
The White Lotus season 3 is coming. The synopsis for this is the social satire is set at an exclusive Thai resort and follows the exploits of various guests and employees over the span of a week. The cast of season 3 is Walton Goggins, Jason Isaacs, Carrie Coon, and Michelle Monaghan. The release date is February 16th, 2025, and this will release on Max.
I've never seen the White Lotus show, but watching the trailer for this has me really excited to go back and watch the first 2 seasons.
You definitely should. It's super good. It's for anyone that doesn't know what this is, like the synopsis for season 3 says, it follows the exploits of various guests and employees over the span of a week at the resort. Okay. Right. So typically, when you think of a resort, you're usually there for a week. Mm-hmm. Right. Like I'm thinking back to like when I went to Cabo or I went on my honeymoon. Like we're there for a week. Yeah. Because that's typically just like the best package deal price wise. Everything you can get is you're there for a week, or you're using RCI miles or points or whatever the fuck it is. And or a fucking timeshare or whatever. Most of those things, it's done by the week. Yeah. Right. And so I get the first 2 seasons confused as to like where they were. One of them was in like Italy, somewhere in that area. I can't remember where the other one was off the top of my fucking head. So this will probably be a fact check you do next week.
Damn it.
I know, I'm sorry. I keep adding shit to yours.
Willy-nilly at Tim's house is what he said. And
we get loosey-goosey over here, dog. But it literally does. It's like a multi plot story, right? Gotcha. And so, have you ever seen the movie like Vantage Point with Forrest Whitaker?
Love that movie.
Was Dennis Quaid in that too?
Yep.
Yeah. It's where you're like seeing this thing played out through kind of multiple lenses. It's similar, but it is like different stories, but that are all kind of hovering around one common plot point.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes total sense, especially with the comparison to Vantage Point.
And the fact that it is at a White Lotus. So White Lotus in essence is like real life. It's like a secrets resort.
Sandal,
yeah, right. Like it's one of those types of resorts. Right? Yeah, like it's the White Lotus Resort is this really high luxury, nice fucking resort. But then all this crazy shit happens. Yeah, at it. And Jennifer Coolidge was in season 1. Yeah. She was in season 1, and then so the cool thing with White Lotus is it's like each season a character carries over.
Oh, okay.
So, like, Jennifer Coolidge was in season 1. She carried over to season 2. There was a character in season 2 that is carrying over to season 3.
All right.
So it's kind of cool, right? And I believe the character that's carrying over to season 3 is one of the employees. So Jennifer Coolidge character in season 1 was a guest at the White Lotus in season 1.
Okay.
And then it followed her to, I can't remember where the fuck season 1 took place, because season 2 was the one where it was like in Italy or somewhere in there. Because it followed her essentially to the White Lotus in season 2. And then one of the employees at the White Lotus from season 2 is the one that's carrying over to go to the Thai resort. You watched the trailer.
Yeah.
It's a black gal that was like, I'm excited to see like what I can take back. Type thing. Like it's her. She was the one from season 2. So it's kind of a cool thing where it's like you have one carryover character
and
from
then
continuity,
a fresh cast,
and then everyone else is new.
I like that.
So
I'm really excited to see Jason Isaacs.
Yeah, me too.
I love that guy.
I know. Same.
Usually he's
Lucius.
one of
Lucius Malfoy,
or the guy from The Patriot. You just love to hate this guy.
Fuck, this motherfucker. Just if I could just fuck you.
He was like the he walks so Joffrey can go.
Fucking Christ. Yeah, dude. Like Just Harry Potter and the Patriot alone. Fuck you, Jason Isaacs. I love you. God.
Exactly.
You're so fucking good at being a fucking worthless piece of shit. I love it. And I hate you at the same time. And I would shake your hand, and then I would fucking punch you in the throat in my dreams later.
And kick you in the shin.
Yeah.
All right, I got something on here.
Hey, you put something on.
This is called The Running Point, and I wasn't going to put it on there, but then I saw they finally did release a trailer. So, Running Point. It is a synopsis. We got the synopsis here. Isla, the only sister in a family of brothers, is ambitious and often overlooked, but when her brother is forced to resign from his position as president of the LA Waves, she's appointed in his place. Now that she's stepping up into the family business, she's going to have to prove to her skeptical brothers, the board, and the larger sports community that she was the right choice for the job. Over the course of the series, she sets out to do just that, making her way in the unpredictable, male-dominated world of sports. The cast is Kate Hudson, Max Greenfield, Brenda Song, and this comes out on February 27, 2025 on the platform of Netflix. Trailer looks great.
It does. It looks it looks awesome.
I'm a big fan of Kate Hudson and Max Greenfield and Brenda Song.
Brenda Song, yeah.
It looks like this got the drama. It got comedy. It has like everything.
Sports?
Yeah.
I loved the point in it because it really like leads straight to the last part of this, where it says over the course of the series she sets out to do just that, making her way in the unpredictable male-dominated world of sports. Mm-hmm. And she's having the conversation with one of the players on the team that she is now like overseeing.
Yeah, and
he's like, "Yeah, I've seen your titties on the internet, so I'm not really going to listen to what you say," or whatever he said. Like, yeah. I was just like, oh my God. And because it's like, that's kind of a fucking real thing.
Yeah.
Like certain situations. And it's just like sports is typically male dominated. And so it's going to be cool to see a movie where it looks at it from a different lens, and a different view.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, the trailer looked great.
The comedy looks good, and looking forward to episodes of this. So we got Fred.
Yeah. Fred stands for follow-up, rumors, and early development.
I like it.
I added a little bit, I think last week. Because we had the follow-up section.
Yeah.
Was it last week I added rumors too, or is that this week also?
This is this week.
This is this week. Okay. Yeah. So earlier in the week I added rumors to it because I was like, that's the type of shit that got us to start this fucking podcast, was to like primarily Marvel. We would watch Marvel movies, and then there's like the post-credit scenes of shit, and then we would go and get a beer at Red Robin. We'd fucking bullshit about like, what the fuck do we think this about? You know, that type of thing. And oddly enough, we haven't done that like at all on this show.
We were doing it earlier on, but
we did it like the first 2 episodes when we were flying by the seat of our pants before we got a little more like kind of like dialed in with our shit. But then getting dialed in with our shit kind of strayed us away from doing this.
That's true, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, for better or worse, like I'm not saying it was wrong. I'm just saying like I realized after I watched Venom, and I know I watched Venom Last Dance, and I know you did.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, man, we got to talk about this. I was like, that's why we fucking started this podcast, was to fucking talk about this shit.
Yeah.
But we, for the most part, out of the Blockbusters, it's like, oh, this is coming out, this is coming out, this is coming out, this is coming out. We don't really talk about like, what the fuck did you think of shit?
Yeah.
For the most part.
That's true, yeah.
Unless it's like a special segment.
Yeah.
So I was like, that definitely deserves this. So that's follow-up.
Yeah.
Rumors also, because there's some rumor stuff involved with the MCU that I'm throwing out. And it doesn't necessarily just have to be MCU. It can be anything. That's just the things that I saw this week that led me to do this. And then also early development is just... which I know I put this on after I had added Together.
Yeah.
on to the Blockbusters, but this is kind of just like things that are in early development that don't have a whole lot of information. And so maybe like once we get a synopsis that makes the cut for Blockbusters.
Yeah, no, because I think together, like, it had set pictures and, like, it's, like, almost done or is done.
We just don't have the trailer yet for it, right?
Yeah,
but
so.
I think it was still worthy of making Blockbusters.
Yes, exactly.
But, like, the early development things that I have on here are more of just like, hey, this has been greenlit.
Yeah.
Hey, this is, like, I guess greenlit really is, like, or like, hey, this has been greenlit and we have some casting information.
Yeah.
But we don't have, like, plot details or anything like that. That's kind of what I was thinking for that, because there's stuff that it's like exciting to talk about, but we just don't have a ton of information. But it's also like, I don't want to fucking wait 4 or 5 months to talk about it. I want to be like, yo, this is on our fucking radar.
Yeah.
And then, but like on our tracking stuff, like I wouldn't add that stuff until we have more information.
No,
you know
100%.
I mean? So
agreed.
that's what led me to Fred.
Fred.
Follow-up rumors and early development.
I like it.
Venom Last Dance. I watched it finally.
What'd you think of it?
I thought it was fucking awesome.
I thought it was good too.
I really enjoyed it.
I
don't understand the critics tearing this franchise apart with every fucking movie that it puts out.
The thing that made me happy was the audience had a way better score for this.
And I feel like the audience has always had a better score for the Venom franchise than the critics have.
Yeah. I don't know
maybe not as good.
Yeah.
But I feel like it has always been better than the critic score. Like, I feel like the critic scores for the Venom franchise has always been fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It's just like, God damn, man. Like, this is the one fucking thing. Granted, I haven't seen Kraven the Hunter yet, but the one fucking thing Sony's doing right on its own is the Venom franchise with Tom Hardy. Like, it's, I think it's fucking awesome.
I thought so too. I think it felt like, this one felt like the Logan movie. It was it was kind of along those premise lines of it and everything. So, yeah.
All right. So, had 2 questions here. What did you think of the two? Because there were 2 different post-credit scenes in this, right? Help me pull from my memory. The one was the bartender coming out from under, and then there was like showing a cockroach with the open vial of what I'm assuming is potentially the Venom symbiote. Yeah. Because earlier in the movie, spoiler alert, they had caught the one piece at the bar. Yeah. Right before the full Venom symbiote got brought down, but they still had the little vials. Mm-hmm. So there's that. And then the other one was
just Noel. It was just Noel.
Yep. That's right. And that's what led me to the next question. Yeah. Right? So, what did you think of the 2 different end credit scenes? Mm-hmm. Like what do you think they mean, and where do you think Noel is headed next? Because this clearly, and as we have talked about on the show before, with Noel and everything with him being the villain, with him being kind of it's very Thanos-like. Yeah. Right, in the early stages of Phase 1 of the MCU, it's very Thanos-like, where it's like you see him, but he's like ordering things to happen. Yeah, he's not doing anything yet. He's just ordering things to happen, and then the talking. It's very similar, really, to Thanos in the beginning. So like you don't really see him do a whole lot. You just see really the head down, the hair hanging, and the talking. Yeah. We'll start with the post-credit scene. What do you think the 2 post-credit scenes mean?
Well, obviously the Noel one means he's still out there, and there's something, because the way he was talking means he's on his way to be breaking free out of where, I forget what he was. He's like locked in this place, but I think the second post-credit scene kind of alludes to why he's able to break free is because Venom is not fully dead, because there's still a piece of that symbiote out there that didn't die with him in the end of in the end of the movie. So
Yeah. So essentially, which means that there is, if that piece of the symbiote can reconnect with Tom Hardy's
Eddie Brock,
then that means that the what was it fucking called? The orange thing that was like the thing that could release him.
Yes, exactly. Fact check for me.
Could still happen.
Yes.
Right. Because the whole idea was, as long as they're both alive, Venom and Eddie Brock are both alive, then that is the key.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that was the same thing I had thought. I was like, oh shit, that has to be, like, why else would they be showing a broken vial to just be one of the other symbiotes? That wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Right. So that's exactly what I was like. That has to be Venom, which means exactly that. Like, okay. But Noel's words at the end also were interesting, because he said, like, your savior has fallen, or something along those lines, right? I don't remember the exact wordage, but it was like something like that. Like, your main guy has fallen. Yeah. And I'm coming for you, essentially, is kind of the gist of it was. So it is kind of interesting, because it's like, he also, while we're saying what we just said, he also kind of made it sound like he believes that threat is over too. Yeah. And it's one of those fucking Marvel post-credit scenes where you're like, fuck, it could mean this, or it could mean something completely different, and I don't really know. I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I don't think the vial that they showed at the end is the Venom one, but it reminds you that they did capture a part of Venom in one of the other Flash post-credit scenes, I believe in the Carnage Venom movie, and they captured the Venom symbiote in a tube just like that one they showed at the end.
That was in this movie.
Oh yeah, you're right.
This movie. Yeah.
But it was with the bartender, so I think it's just signaling the connection there.
The post-credit scene, I believe, from No Way Home.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, yes.
Eddie Brock got sucked into the one timeline and then was brought back to the other timeline, and then it was like, you were kind of fucked with, because you weren't sure what timeline it was where he was doing this thing, but then like a piece of the symbiote was left, but it was in the Eddie Brock timeline. Yes. That the symbiote was left, like the chunk of the symbiote was left on the bar, because on that bartender, that's what led to the bartender being captured. Yeah. Right. So that was actually in the movie.
Yeah. So I think that was just foreshadowing that there is still part of Venom out there. So.
Yeah. All right. So that being said, because we just covered both.
Yeah.
What do you think is next?
I think Noel is headed to this new, I believe it's a new trilogy of Spider-Man movies, right? So I think he's going to...
Why?
Why is
That's what I want to know, because I figured that's what you're going to say, but why do you think he would be, with knowing what we know from that universe, because it's different universes. Yeah. Right? In the multiverse, why would he just leave the universe that he was just attacking, knowing that like what he needs to be freed is there, to a new universe where we have absolutely zero idea of a Venom, or a symbiote at all. Yeah, we have no idea of a symbiote in the MCU main timeline, right? So what would bring him there?
Because I feel like the next two Avenger movies is gonna bring Tom Hardy into the sacred timeline, and therefore bring Noel into that timeline. So it would tie into the Spider-Man movies, but also maybe further down the line. And
so you think Doomsday?
Yes.
Primarily.
Yes.
Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the next Spider-Man movie is scheduled to come out before Secret Wars.
Right. Yeah, I think it was in between. So
you think Doomsday is somehow going to pull...
Yeah.
Are you thinking the Fantastic Four from the same universe as Tom
Hardy? I think maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I believe Tom Hardy's is coming to the sacred timeline, and it's going to tie in everything.
Yeah, see, and I thought, like, before I watched this, because obviously, like, it's been out for a little while now. It's been out for a few months. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry. Everything I had, like, read, I hadn't read anything about this movie specifically. Like, I didn't read any spoilers or anything like that. But just everything I had read about ideas about it and, like, things that could potentially be from this movie without any spoilers was, like, had me thinking more along the lines of, like, this movie was going to end with Noel. Like, I thought that the piece of the Venom symbiote was going to actually end up being left in the main MCU. Mm-hmm. And I thought that would have been a really good way for them to go about, like, if he destroyed, like, if the Venom got destroyed in the way it did at the end of this movie, but then Noel realizes there is still a part of it left in the MCU.
Yeah.
That would have brought it, like, made him kind of flee to the MCU, and which would have then brought Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
But that's not how it happened. So that's where I was kind of like, okay, I'm curious what your thought process is here behind this, because, like, I'm kind of like, I feel like it wrapped up the trilogy really well, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like there's so many fucking unanswered questions and things that I'm just like, what the fuck now with the post-credit scene? So
yeah, but the big thing is Eddie Brock is now in New York. That's how the movie ends. So,
that is a big thing.
Yes.
Because that's, as we all know, that's where Spider-Man is based.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's super interesting. There's 0% chance at this point, I feel like, that we've seen the last of Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock. Even
100%.
though I think this was the end of the Venom movies.
Yeah.
I think we're still going to see Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock involved in other things throughout the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. Sinners, dude. We got the newest trailer for Sinners. Again, as a reminder, this is the Michael B. Jordan film that it will be coming out. I don't remember exactly when the release date is, but it's coming up March, I think. I want to say off the top of my head, but he plays twin brothers in the movie, and they had, like, left their hometown, and then they returned to their hometown and end up essentially fighting vampires.
Vampire, zombie, whatever it is.
Yeah. I think
it is vampires. Yeah.
It has a...
From this trailer, definitely...
This trailer gave me a very, very specific 30 Days of Night feel to it.
Yeah.
But god damn.
This trailer definitely led on to more of what this movie, because the first one I was like really excited, but I was like questioning what's going on.
But now you're like, oh shit, that's what's going on? Fuck.
Yeah. Agreed.
This trailer for this movie made me that much more fucking excited to see this. And I cannot wait until this comes out.
Yeah, this one's going to be a good one.
Most of the movies that we cover that are like, oh, it's coming out in theaters, are like definitely on my list of like, oh yeah, that would be fucking dope to go see. But realistically, with my just life and just the way things are going on, and us doing this on Saturdays, like, my time frames to go see a movie in theaters is very small. And then the stuff that we cover compared to what Lindsay would go see with me if we were to get somebody to watch Lainey to go see a movie together is even smaller. Yeah. Right? Like, we cover a lot of shit that she wouldn't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
This being one of them. This is one, though, where I'm like, I might make fucking time to make sure I go see this in theaters.
Yeah.
Type of
agreed.
Thing. Like, I will figure it out, because this is holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. And have the same feelings about it, and the soundtrack to this movie sounds like it's going to be killer too. So
yeah, absolutely.
So excited for that. Great follow up to that.
Yep. Black Panther 3. This is more of the rumor mill thing. Got a rumored villain for the next Black Panther movie. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce this. I didn't look it up, but I'm going to say Akib.
Akib. I was going to say Ashabe.
Ashabe. It's Achebe. Not sure how to pronounce it, but some of the rumor things that I've seen are we already had Denzel kind of confirm himself, kind of out of pocket, but he confirmed himself that he is having a part written for the next Black Panther movie. And so everything I've seen and read sounds like the character traits of this villain in the comics kind of lend its hand to Denzel's like acting skills, which I mean are fucking phenomenal, obviously. Yeah. But like kind of lends itself towards that type of character. So it's kind of like, could it be Denzel? A couple other things are, this isn't necessarily a rumor, this is more of confirmed, I guess, is Namor is set to return in Black Panther 3, which is exciting.
Yeah.
And then another rumor is they are discussing a potential for a new T'Challa to be introduced. So how they might go about that, I don't know. If it's going to be like, that's just like the title given to the new Black Panther is T'Challa, or if T'Challa was that character and they're just going to recast him, which would be weird based off of Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
With
maybe they pull a T'Challa from another timeline. We are in the multiverse, so
that's true. That's true. Maybe it is another timeline type thing. So who knows? But those are all rumors for Black Panther 3, which is another MCU movie that is exciting to just be looking forward to. So
yeah, one of the things that I'm excited about this villain is, again, he has ties to Mephisto, and I know we've been talking about Mephisto a few times, and so that
allegedly,
yes,
made a deal with Mephisto.
Yes,
it's literally what it says.
Yeah,
like,
but
he allegedly.
But the
made
name,
a deal with Mephisto.
The
Nobody
name
knows for sure.
Mephisto keeps popping up.
Yes,
which is good signs for the MCU's future. So I know we've been wanting.
Interesting to see where the Mephisto thing could go, because I don't know. The comic history eludes me some.
Yeah,
I know some. But I know very little.
Yeah,
I will say that. I will be very blunt with that. I know very little about the actual comic history, which is partly on purpose because I'm a movie guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm a movie show guy. I'm a cinema guy. I like watching things. I don't necessarily like reading them as much. Mm-hmm. So I did the same thing with Harry Potter. Like, yes, I read the Harry Potter books when I was little, but I don't fucking remember any of that. I was little. I watched the movies. That's how I got my Harry Potter information for the most part.
Yeah.
I just like, I like watching stuff more than reading things. So the comic books aren't necessarily like my thing, but is Mephisto really involved that much in the X-Men?
I don't know.
I don't feel like I've heard a lot about that. Which I think brings me to my next slide.
Okay.
Is that the next slide? Go to the next one. Let's see. Yes, that is the next slide.
Yeah.
Because we are coming up, like, we're quickly approaching the end of the multiverse saga. Mm-hmm. Which is where I would have thought that Mephisto would have really come to fruition the most.
Yeah.
Because the next saga is all about the X-Men. It's the mutant saga.
I mean, maybe
Kevin Feige's already gone on record to say that. So that's where I'm like, I'm hoping I'm wrong. Maybe Mephisto does play a big role in the comics with the X-Men and everything, just because he's like a overarching Marvel enemy.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's literally Marvel's devil. But I just don't feel like I've really ever read or heard much about those characters interacting.
Yeah.
But this leads me to the next thing, is that the Russo brothers are rumored to have signed on to oversee the MCU X-Men and more. Oh. So it's not necessarily they're directing it or anything, but they're like, the Kevin Feige has brought them on to literally just like oversee all of that.
I'm excited for that. Yeah.
So, which I thought was super cool, because it's like everything they have touched in the MCU has been like gold. Like, it's been pretty much everything they have touched has been the highest fucking selling shit outside of No Way Home.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have anything to do with No Way Home.
Yeah.
Right? But I mean, and I guess Deadpool and Wolverine.
True.
But outside of those two things, everything else they have touched have been pretty much like the highest fucking grossing films in the MCU for the most part. So, that's exciting. The fact that they're back for Doomsday and Secret Wars, and then the fact that they, well, not fact, but the rumor that they have potentially signed on for future shit with the MCU too. When they originally were like presented with the idea of coming back to do Doomsday, and they said fuck no. At first, like straight up, that was their quote was, "Fuck no, we're not doing this." And then it was like the next day they call each other and we're like, "Okay, so wait, what if we actually did this?" What could this look like? Yeah. And then they started having ideas and things were coming out. And they're like, all right, no, okay, this is the story we need to tell. Yeah. And that's what brought them back to what they've currently signed on for. And then if this is real, like,
I'm here for it.
We have some very bright stuff going on, so.
Yeah, exactly.
This is an early development. The Faculty, which I know you loved.
Yep.
I love this movie as well. Is a remake for it has been greenlit.
Wow.
And exciting, it is being written by Drew Hancock, who wrote and directed Companion starring Jack Quaid.
Oh.
Which is that new horror movie where we saw him in that fucking almost torturous situation with the gal.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. I love this movie. This is one of my favorite
sci-fi horrors.
Yeah, sci-fi horrors. Yeah, I guess that's probably the best possible way of putting it.
It's so good.
Fucking and you know what's crazy to me is when I was reading about this and they were saying like, oh yeah, the original Faculty starred so and so, and then it was like, oh, additionally it had blah 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 blah, and I'm like,
had a lot of big actors.
It didn't, but they didn't put Usher in that bitch at all.
Oh no!
And I was like, how the fuck are you gonna leave out my boy Usher? He was in this shit. He was the running back of the football team.
That's
like,
right.
What the fuck? But anyways, yeah, I mean, fucking Josh Hartnett, Elijah Wood, the fucking football coach. Oh, god damn it.
Oh, he was the guy in...
God damn it.
He was in T2, right?
Yeah.
It's that guy, yeah.
He played fucking T-1000.
Yeah.
He was in fucking Identity Thief. He's been in a ton of shit. Why the fuck can I not remember his name?
Fact check, damn it.
I know.
Goosey.
Just fucking you over every time. At least these ones are easy.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, oh yeah, that's right, that's who it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie had Famke Janssen in it. There were so many fucking people that we're totally just spacing on.
Yeah.
And like that doesn't need to be fact checked. Like that's just go fucking look up the cast of the movie if you want to fucking know. But this movie was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And just like the whole idea behind it and like the fucking they're like doing the cocaine to fucking decide to like figure out who the fuck's an alien or not.
Yeah.
And the one girl who when they're in the garage and they do it and her like nostril fucking closes.
Oh yeah.
But then the other girl who's kind of like the emo girl like fucking does it and the so the whole fucking idea behind it is fucking wild. So I'm excited to see like what they could do in a remake to like make it fresh but also pay homage to the original.
Yeah. This was not like the first, but definitely one of the biggest horror movies that I first saw, you know, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I remember watching it for the first time. It was such a cool movie. So, sure. All right, I got something on here. Scream 7, another update on it.
Yes.
Reading that
I'm stoked for this.
Scott Foley, who was in Scream 3 as Roman, and Matthew Lillard's, which was in Scream 1, as Stu, are officially added to the cast. I mean, just two big names to put into this new one. Hearing rumblings that there may be even more, but I'm thinking it's going to be similar to how they brought Billy Loomis, a.k.a. Skeet Ulrich, into Scream 5 and 6. So just excited to see some of these legendary Ghostface added back to the series. Maybe it's like a flashback, and because Roman, it was like the mastermind of getting Stu and Billy to kill Maureen in Scream. So I wonder if it's just like a flashback. But either way, seeing these characters again alive.
But
and
we didn't actually see Stu die.
I mean, true.
We didn't.
Yeah.
We did not see him actually die.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the back and forth stabbings go on, but we didn't actually see him die. And Matthew Lillard has gone on record to say, we didn't actually see him die.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, he very well could have been, like, his life could have been saved, and he could just have been in, like, some form of fucking mental hospital prison type thing for this whole time. Who knows?
True.
Right? So I am curious about that. I kind of hope it's not the same thing that they did with Skeet Ulrich, just because that would kind of be a little on the nose. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you just did that.
Yeah.
Literally just did that in the last movie. Right? So it would be kind of like, I hope they do something a little different. Like, I would love to see Stu come back and beat the Ghostface again.
I would too. I would too.
Amazing.
It would be hard to bring Roman back. I mean, obviously,
I just fucking thought of this. What if it's like a fucking Silence of the Lambs type thing, and he's in prison, and Sydney has to go fucking talk to him to try to fucking figure out, like, hey, I need help.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
You know? That would be fucking crazy.
That would be awesome.
That'd be cool.
That's a really good idea.
Cool. That would be super cool. I think that would be a really cool way to get Matthew Lillard back into it also.
And him being alive.
Yeah. That would be sweet.
But it would be harder to bring Roman into that.
Yeah, because he was a little more like, you died.
You died.
We saw you die, because he was her half-brother.
Yeah.
In Scream 3.
Yeah. So, but
that was a Hollywood one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm still excited for it.
Yeah.
Seeing those names added to the cast.
Absolutely. Doesn't matter how it's done. It's just, you're bringing back legacy characters.
Yeah.
And that
we got Kevin Williamson at the helm of this. So
to see if Hayden Panettiere is going to be in this one also.
I hope so. I
Yeah,
really do.
Like, I feel like that
Kirby's one of the best characters in the franchise.
It's not like her character arc was wrapped up perfectly all neat and tidy in the last one. So I can bring her back too.
I agree.
It'd be cool to see her interact with Neve Campbell again.
Yeah, agreed.
Right? So
agreed.
With Sidney Prescott. Blockbuzzin.
This is the segment where we cover a movie that generates a lot of buzz, and the movie that we chose for this, or I chose for this, is The Substance. And why does it garner that buzz? Well, it's one of only 7 horror movies to be nominated for Best Picture. It could be the second movie ever to win Best Picture alongside The Silence of the Lambs.
Oscars, right? I thought we were talking about.
Yeah, the Oscars. Okay. Yeah. What did you think of it?
This was legitimately one of the most disturbing movies I think I've ever watched.
Agreed.
And now and I'm saying that with, I know that there are a lot of other really disturbing movies out there that I have not watched.
Yes.
I don't think I expected this one to be as disturbing as it actually was, though.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain, I don't even know, like, there are certain types of movies and stuff that I just don't really care for.
Mm-hmm.
And this turned out to be one of those, although I'm happy I watched it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, will I watch this again? No. I probably won't. I legitimately did not feel well after watching this.
Mm-hmm.
Like physically, and like part of me was like, because my wife, like I said earlier, was like dealing with food poisoning and stuff, and then it was also like all of a sudden like she was like running a fever and stuff. It was like, oh shit, is she getting the flu and it's not food poisoning? But then we ended up finding out she had an allergic reaction to the medicine that she was given for the food poisoning.
Oh damn.
It was a whole fucking thing for
Yeah.
like 4 fucking days, and it was Thursday I stayed home
Yeah.
to help her, and I watched it that morning, and so then I was like, fuck, is she actually sick and I'm getting sick, or did this literally just I have never had a physical reaction to watching something like I did to this. I legitly for like a couple hours, like I didn't eat for a while. I felt kind of sick.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck, dude? And I was like, no, that was just the movie, because Lindsay legitimately had food poisoning and that's not contagious.
Yeah.
So I was like, what the fuck, man? It was fucked up.
Yeah.
This movie was absolutely fucked up, and on so many levels. Like, just like the physical watching, the gore, the fucking just uneasy, the unsettlingness of all of it. But you go even deeper into the reasoning behind why it's all happening, and it's so real.
Yes.
It's so fucked up. And it happened, like, not obviously to this extent, but the idea of that, I would argue that the majority of people would fucking make that same decision.
Oh yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
scary, and that's weird, and that's super upsetting and sad. Mm-hmm. And that this type of movie and what it was and what it ended up being in the end, which completely fucking caught me off guard,
Absolutely.
was like, it's kind of a fucking real life narrative. With it being so bizarre at the same time. Like, it was, I don't know, there were so many pieces to it that were just so unsettling for me, and just like, I don't know, like, I have a daughter.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's so many more added layers now to it. And even though she's 15 months old, it's still just like, you fucking think about this shit.
Yeah.
I think about shit all the time now, where I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And this was one of those fucking things that I was just like, oh, I was just fuck. And like, Lindsay woke up towards the end of the movie, and she was, I know, she was out in the living room. Lainey was all like, I am so extremely happy that Lainey is still at the point where I don't have to be careful of what I'm watching yet. Because, like, yes, she's starting to pick up on certain things, but she has no fucking recollection of what she's seeing and watching, or like anything that's going on in that regard. So, because she was with me almost the entire time I was watching this movie. And yes, for those of you that are fucking upset about it, I'm going to be more careful as I'm moving forward with her getting older. I'm not stupid, but I know that she can't make those connections yet.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was like, all right, I'm just going to fucking put this on. But there were still even parts of this movie where I was like, I'm going to move you over here to where you aren't, like, let's go play with this. So you're not fucking at all paying attention to the TV. Because she doesn't, for the most part anyways, really watch the TV or pay attention even when it's on. Unless there's, like, a song. If there's a song that catches her attention, she'll look at it. But outside of that, Lindsay, she was sitting at the table, and again, she was dealing with food poisoning, so she's not feeling the best anyways. And this was at the last half hour of this movie, which is the worst part of the movie. Like, I don't mean worse like bad, but I'm saying like it was the hardest part of the movie, I think, to watch, and the noises of everything. And Lindsay was sitting at the dining room table, and I had the TV turned toward the window, like toward the recliner. Yeah. And she's just like, when is this going to be over? She's like, this is fucking terrible. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty uncomfortable right now watching this. Like, I don't like this. And she's like, why are you watching? I was like, I have to. Tim's making me. I was like, Tim forced me to do this. You can blame him. I was like, I would not have picked to watch this. But that all being said, I am happy I watched it. I'm happy I got that experience. I do fully 100% understand why it is only one of 7 horror movies to be nominated for Best Picture, and why it could potentially be the second to ever win it. It was shot very uniquely. I think is probably lack of a better way to put that is saying that, but I felt like there were similar elements to The Silence of the Lambs and The Shining.
Oh, this definitely had a lot of callbacks to
lot of
horror movies.
Elements of The Shining in it for sure, like the long hallway and like all that. Just there was a lot of stuff. The concept of the movie is fucking insane and scary because again, it is how many people you could put in a room and ask a question to if they would do this or not, and how many of them would probably say yeah. Is fucking terrifying. And the fact that not this to this extent, but the fact that I don't know that society is that far away from being able to do something like this is fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
No,
definitely it was an uncomfortable watch, and I think that's what makes it unique and a good movie in a sense. I was like you, I was very invested in it while uncomfortable until the end, and that kind of took me out of the movie. But again, it was just more uncomfortable and wow, like shock value.
Yeah, I had a very that whole last portion of it. I was sitting there the whole time, just like, this has to be fucking over soon.
Yeah.
That was that feeling where I was just like, I am physically and mentally done watching this.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to turn it off until I know it's actually over.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of what we're doing. But if I had just picked to watch that and
it would have been off
doing this for the podcast, I would not have finished it.
Yeah. I think I don't think it needed that last part of the movie, but it also did.
Also adds. I get it.
Yes.
Because it adds. There's so much more of a narrative undertone to that than just the shock and awe value of it.
Yeah.
That adds to what the whole fucking story is about.
Yeah.
So it's like I get it.
Yeah.
But it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
For me to watch.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was like, oh my God. But I was like, I fucking understand it.
Yeah.
I understand what it is getting at, and I understand what it's saying and what we're seeing. And because there's so many fucking levels of shit that we don't even have time to get into with this. But
I think you said it best. It's how eerily close to real life that is scary.
Yeah.
And to quote Scream 3, what's your favorite scary movie? And Mark Cade says, My Life. And I mean, just real life, just holy hell.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth the watch. It's very uncomfortable, so
it is uncomfortable for sure. But like I said, like everything being said that I just fucking stated about it, I don't regret watching it.
Yes.
I'm happy I watched it. I'm happy I got the experience. Would I watch it again? No, but do I think it is worth a singular watch? For sure.
Yeah.
And there are some people that might find this to be their favorite fucking horror movie.
It's going to stick with you, for sure.
Yes, it will.
It sticks, because I had the same feeling afterwards. It just kind of, I was thinking about it.
All
it was
fucking day.
lingering.
The rest of that day.
It was just lingering. And
I don't have that very often.
Yeah.
Like I'm very, very good at just being like watching something. I'm like, oh, that was fucked up, and then I'm just like, all right, move on. But this, I was like, fucking A, man.
Yeah. So The Substance, give it a watch. Maybe they win that award for the second horror movie to ever win the Best Picture. So, all right, that brings us to Blockbusters Question of the Week.
I posed this one yet again. I asked. We've been talking a lot about horror movies. We just finished talking about one. I said, with that genre overwhelmingly taking precedent in our last few episodes, what is your favorite subgenre of horror? So, for instance, just to name a few, possession, paranormal, because I put those separate. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I get it.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I figured you would. So, possession, paranormal, slasher, found footage, etc.
Yeah.
I could have added in like true crime, serial killer type stuff, like that type of stuff too. So like just everything you can think of when it comes to subgenres of horror genre. Yeah. What is your favorite?
Yeah. Slasher by a mile. It just
that's it's like
it has the most iconic characters in it, and just if it's a whodunit, even better. I love those.
Yeah.
I like the mystery factor to it,
which is Scream.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why Scream is your favorite fucking horror franchise,
Yes.
right? Because it's a whodunit slasher.
Yeah.
Like in each of the movies, you don't know who the fucking killer is.
Yeah, and with slashers, I know there's a lot to suspend disbelief to, but it's also there's a realistic part to it, and that part makes it scary. I would put paranormal close second, just like The Conjuring, Sinister.
Yeah.
Those movies I really enjoy and really scare me. So that was a close second.
And that's kind of why I put like the separation between possession and paranormal, because like possession, I'm thinking of like The Exorcist.
Yes.
I'm thinking of The Haunting in Connecticut. I'm thinking like those types of things. I'm thinking of the Amityville Horror. Those types of things. Where then paranormal, I'm thinking Paranormal Activity, The Conjuring, like those types of things.
Yeah.
I don't know if those realistically would be separated, but to me they're separate categories.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I said slasher too. It's the same, like fucking Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Leatherface, Ghostface. Like all of those are just like the most iconic. When I think horror movies, that's what I think of.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, oh yeah, there's all of these other things, right? So that's what comes to my mind too.
Yeah, man.
All right, dude.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's fucking go.